I don't know, man. I need like drugs or something. Today was horrible. I didn't want to do a fucking thing but think about going through a couple of swords or something. So like maybe SmackDown was worse to me, but thank you, man, for the donation, the ADTR, and the big bad ads. But yeah, follow me on Twitter at CorruptedPod short for Corrupted Podcast. And thanks to Carl61 who became a patron. We got the Jake and Joe podcast on Patreon. We got the Corrupted podcast on Patreon and the Morning Madness podcast on Patreon. Over 30 hours of content and a whole bunch more shit for you over there. But yeah, I love the way that SmackDown opened up tonight with the whole Booker T segment. I like that he did the King Booker deal. And then at some point, I actually kind of forget what happened, to be honest. But at one point when he turned into like, oh, I know what it was. They said they related him to Saxton. That was pretty fucking funny. And then Booker T was like, tell me, like, when he said...
Fuck yeah, I got everyone's addresses, Mon! I got everyone's fucking addresses, Mon!
Oh, shit.
Get ready for the guck. Also, SD Live was a also congratulations on 58K, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Also, I can't wait for All In this Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, I am so fired up for All In this Saturday. We're going to be talking All In all goddamn weekend, John Wills. Thank you, John Wills. Get ready for the gook.
Okay, sweetheart. Get ready for the gook.
That's what you got to say, man. If you want to get rid of your girlfriend, just remember.
Okay, sweetheart. Get ready for the gook.
And then you almost get her pregnant, but you shoot it in her face. Anyway, Jake is here. He's taking a smoke out of all kinds of illegal stuff. I'll give his address out to the FBI later.
That's the steroids, baby. You and I have been friends for quite some time, but we got to have a serious conversation. You enjoyed the opening of SmackDown?
Yeah,
really?
I was laughing pretty hard at that.
Really?
It was so stupid. Yeah, I loved it.
Maybe it just broke something in you that you
it
had
did.
to
Maybe
laugh,
because I was like, hi, fucking King Booker. What the fuck? Dude, I loved it. It was so much better than Raw to me. I was like random. It was like, what the hell's going on here? So I enjoyed it much better because Raw was just like, hey, blah, 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 now the good guys team up in the main event and against the bad guys. So I've seen that a zillion fucking times. So clearly to me, that was a 2 out of 10 opening on Raw. So tonight, yeah. I gave the opening tonight a 5 out of 10. So, you know, hey, like...
See, the only thing I did laugh, admittedly, at the... the end line. You'll tell me you did not just say that, but
when he's
that was inventive. I like that, but
it wasn't inventive. It was dude. It was just. I just thought it was perfect. I don't know. It was stupid. Yeah, it got the Spinneroonie is stupid.
Saxton, that work because you had Xavier the Wise, Kofi the Brave, and Big E. No, really, it was one of those moments that harkened to the pre-Attitude Era days where everything was very hokey and silly. It just felt rated G, not even PG, like so family friendly it was nauseating.
Well, that's what everything feels like that to me.
Yeah, it was like too wholesome and happy and
But that's how Raw began last night, but without comedy. So like I would you know what I mean?
Oh no, you're right there, but it's just I don't know, I couldn't get behind it. I tried, but the first 30 minutes or so of SmackDown.
No, I mean, like, I'm not saying it was great. I'm just saying it was better than Raw. It was better than the opening of Raw, yeah.
I concede that point gleefully. Yeah, the opening of Raw was a travesty to all mankind. Should never be seen again.
I did laugh, and then that was the last time I laughed all night. I mean, I don't know.
The only time I really laughed, and it's still the stupid same old running gag, but R-Truth, hunting down Carmella, I still get a chuckle out of that. For some reason, he always finds a way to make me laugh somehow.
I usually laugh. I laughed at him last week or the week before, but I didn't laugh tonight. But that might have been because I actually didn't even hear a thing he said because I was busy and I wanted to, but I didn't quite get it.
Yeah, the first half an hour was just not great. Unfortunately, I really didn't like the King Booker segment and talking about before they go to Dragon Con, here's the words we have to say, and him giving them nicknames. And I mean, I understand they want to make a momentous deal out of them having their 5th championship reign, so they bring out the 5-time champion himself. To me, it wasn't egregious enough like it was a problem. It was just a waste in my eyes. So it wasn't harmful to the product. It didn't ruin the show. It just, to me, wasn't great. So it wasn't a great start for me personally. I'm glad Booker T got a nice ovation, especially being in Toronto. That was, people wanted to have fun. They had fun with it. I'm not going to shit all over it. It wasn't my cup of tea. I'd rather things, if they're going to go comedy, I like it to go like serious in the sense, but I'm sick of New Day with the pancakes and the shucking and jiving and all that shit. It's gotten old for me at this point. So we get the Bar, the Good Brothers, and the Clones, and I just you knew the Bar was going to walk out of there. That was heavily telegraphed. You're not going to see the club win anytime soon with how they're being handled backstage with the cringeworthy segments with them with the fake glasses and being idiots. The Clones, we haven't seen Primo and Epico in how long?
Primo and Epico, they seem to pop up once every month. Like
you forget they're even hired at times. 5 months later, you're like, oh yeah, they're still there.
That's the thing is, like, they clearly have some kind of contract because they were released from the contract. Then there was never any follow up that said they were hired again. So then we started assuming that they were on some kind of part-time deal. But they also, I believe, unless somebody else out there can correct me or tell me the news that I didn't know, not that it matters much anyway, but I haven't heard of them being booked anywhere else besides WWE. So
not even like in the main event shows or anything like that.
So I mean, you really think that they have a WWE deal? Then they're probably just working lots of house shows, and
they are on a few house shows that I did see recently. They were on a few different house shows.
Weird.
So
they have I mean, yeah, it's just weird, and I don't understand what's going on with them because they're wrestling almost like how Kurt Hawkins is, like, which is another guy which I think that,
and Kanellis.
Yeah, it's like they have these people under contract, and they can't wrestle anywhere else.
Ascension, Breezango.
It's really weird. I don't know, but
yeah.
no, Ascension I know is under contract.
Back in the day, but
I know Ascension and Mike are under contract, but it's like with them, it's just different. It's something different about it.
Yeah, it feels like their contract is set to be, jobbers per se. Unfortunately, I know what you're getting at, but I'm saying,
they get money at least.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're getting paid.
I mean, the Clones, man, they're great. I mean, they're really they're great. They've been crappily used so many times. I think they finally just realized, well, these guys are great wrestlers, but none of the gimmicks have worked out. So
yeah, Los Matadores and stuff like that. That was nightmare-inducing most of the times. It was so frustrating. So the only thing good came out of that was the WLC match, and that was one where we laughed at them, not with them. So
oh yeah,
take it as you will. But so the tag match to me personally wasn't good. I felt like it just was a car crash in a sense, and not in the way where you want to keep watching.
No,
one of those where you just want to get out of there as fast as possible. It didn't hit. Sheamus and Cesaro cut off Anderson. They go for the Canadian backbreaker, and it's just like, he breaks out, and they attempt to make it like a big, tag in, and they miss a running splash, and like the clotheslines look sloppy. Everything just looks sloppy. Like,
you got to get the commercial break in.
Yeah. So most of the good action I noticed is when they had the picture-in-picture, moments at that point in time for the commercials. So. Yeah, we saw the Bar win. It was only 10 minutes. It was a short match, but just, so far I'm not with SmackDown. It's a 2 out of 10 night for me.
First when the Bar came out, it was like, cool, like they're back, and then immediately they became that same stale team they had become. I was kind of looking forward to seeing them back once more and seeing where they would go with it, because I'd want to see them. We heard they might get a slight push, see where they're going, going forward. Could they reinvent themselves a little bit more? And no, it's just going to be the same thing. So, and
not we'll get into
match.
Rusev and Lana later in the show, but even that was infuriating as well.
Not a good match. I agree. Didn't like. Yeah. Once Booker T said, tell me you didn't like. After that, like I was like, oh, this is going to. I'm bored.
As soon as they said New Day was going to be on commentary, I can't stand them on commentary. Every now and again, they'll say something a little funny, but it's not worth having. It's a waste of time. People out there.
Yeah, they're just hyped. Like they're all hyped out there, but it's not funny. Like it's not like when Kevin Owens gets on commentary. A lot of times you're like, that was funny, that was worth it. But yeah, it's a waste of time. Oh, the table's orange.
Yeah, even I enjoyed Carmella on commentary a couple of times she was out there, and that surprised me as well, because she actually analyzed her, the opponents in the ring, and everything was about her. She stayed in character, but it worked. With this, like you said, it's just constant hype and trying to drive up entertainment, but it just doesn't hit. It's certainly unfortunate.
I don't think it hit at all. We're having a subscription party, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Subscribe Joe Cronin Show. Don't miss out on all the daily wrestling videos.
If you get 6 people yapping all at once, it turns into a big clusterfuck, and nobody knows their cues, and it just gets really sloppy. So
yeah.
Past that, we get Jeff Hardy to come out, and I like this Jeff that we have going on here. This super serious, menacing, not going to be intimidated Jeff Hardy. He's been pushed beyond his limits, and he's been assaulted multiple times, and now he's getting vengeance, and he's going to get his comeuppance, and he's taking on Orton, and he looks sinister, and he looks creepily evil with the smiles that he's given towards Orton, and he made a line. He said something about Orton might see him as a perverted object of his affection, but really it's just an obstacle in his career, and he feels like the old Jeff Hardy again. He's reinvigorated, so he tells Orton, come out here, I'm going to finish, what I started last week. And Orton even had a somewhat of a okay promo here, saying the only letters that matter is RKO. You can call me what you want, and that's when Jeff interrupted and said RK, he yelled no instead of O. And he said he was going to take Orton to hell, and he's coming with him. And they are now having their match inside Hell in a Cell.
Wow.
So first I was like, all right, cool. This is interesting to have these two be fighting inside the Hell in a Cell. Orton doesn't put on these amazing matches usually, but he will be willing usually to take big bumps and to a certain extent.
Yeah,
he doesn't mind hurting his body for the sake of entertainment.
Right.
We've seen him take some nasty spills and harken back to when he was busted open by Brock, to add for the blood for the match. That was he usually doesn't mind adding some extra energy to the match. He'll take some cool spots. So with him and the ultimate spot monkey, Jeff Hardy, being in the match, I think it could be a really, really good Hell in a Cell if they let them go all out.
Right. I think it could too, in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly Jeff will do something kind of wacky.
Jeff will break himself in half at a house show, so never mind a pay-per-view.
Right.
It depends on how much Orton wants to play ball. Whose hand is he going to shake going forward? We'll see. But
right.
So I was excited at that point. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't remember Jeff Hardy ever being in a Hell in a Cell. I was talking to a few people on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't think he's been in a Hell in a Cell match that I can recall.
All right. Yeah,
Maybe
what?
I don't. In the chat, I'm sure we got enough, knowledgeable people there. I might be wrong, but not that I can recall, or at least that I've seen.
Yeah, I don't remember anything now that you say it.
Yeah, no. So, but very interesting. You get two people that haven't really had, many matches, and all right, we're going to see them go ahead and hopefully put on a good show. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's nice when you're looking forward to some of the undercard matches, not just, I'm looking to the WWE Championship or, the women's title every time for these pay-per-views. That lately, when you go back, typically the only matches we're looking forward to is the Intercontinental title and sometimes, one of usually the WWE Championship with AJ.
Right.
Yeah, everybody says so far in the chat, no, he hasn't been in Hell in a Cell. So I think he's going to go all out. Somebody said 2009 against Cena. Not Randy Orton. Jeff Hardy. So, yeah, I don't think
really?
Hardy has been in a,
Maybe he's been in one.
Match.
All I can think about is the Elimination Chamber. That's kind of what I think about. Like, he's been in that a couple times, maybe.
Yeah, and he said, this is his first. He said he wanted to have one before he retires. Okay, thank you, Wise Society.
There you go.
Makes perfect sense.
See,
now what's disappointing, though, is that we're not going to get to see Samoa Joe and AJ in a Hell in a Cell. And I really thought that that's where they were going with this.
I don't think they needed to, though. We said that right away. We were like, they don't need to do that.
They didn't need to, but I had assumed, anyways, that's where they were going. I never thought it was an absolute must, but it certainly seemed like it was building to be that way. And the only reason I would want to have that happen is because, usually that's a feud ender, and I don't think we're at that stage yet.
No, they're going to, it feels like they're going for as long as they can here.
Yeah. Certainly makes sense in that regard. So,
by the way, real quickly, I do want to throw it out there before I forget this. By the way, if you guys want to donate tonight live, Twitch Alerts link is down below in the description box, and all the donation amounts are down below. Obviously, you guys fund the show tonight, so if you feel like dropping a couple of dollars for us, that's down below. Or you can super chat in the right below in the chat there. Use the $ super chat if you want to drop a couple bucks and say a couple things, ask some questions that we can answer for you or make a comment. Also, we're going to be joined in a little while, I believe, hopefully, just after 11 or around 11 by one of my friends, Big Bacon. Brad Hollister's in the house in a little while. We're going to talk to him.
Oh, shit.
He's had some big matches recently, and he's going to be having a big one on September 8th, right before the big show here in Massachusetts with the NWO returning. And after All In, we'll find out what's going to happen. Christian Casanova, another cool dude, another friend of mine, as well as my buddy Flip Gordon and Brad Hollister. Listen, I don't know who to pick in this. I guess I'll have to pick Brad because he's on the show tonight. But I mean, I like
it's kind of a must.
I like all these guys. These guys are all my friends. But you know what? Big Bacon needs a win, man. Bacon's hungry for some friggin' bacon. So we're gonna have him on the phone tonight and a little bit later, and we'll be recording that to put it up as a podcast. And I'll do it live for you guys here on the show as well. And we'll have some other ones coming up on Patreon. But anyway, real quick, let me throw out Triple Gaming's $5. Oh, well, we'll hold on that for another second. But anyway, we got a sub. Brian Verkel, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. What's up? So where else are we at? Yeah, so far, I'm not really happy too much with SmackDown, although I did appreciate...
that promo was good from Jeff. But
what did Randy say? Randy said something that was bizarre. I liked it, though. He was like... He said something...
He said the version of Jeff that he wants to erase is the one in the ring right now.
No, before that, he said...
how he's going to do it.
Before that, he said something like, I'm not done sculpting you, or I'm not done... Man, Randy Orton said something funny. He was like, I'm not done with my work on you or working on you. It was just like, it was very weird.
He sounded odd. He was talking about like leaving him a broken heap in the middle of the ring. And it was creepy in a sense, though. But that's what made me enjoy it more. You know, you can call me whatever you want, the Viper, the Legend Killer, but you only need to refer to the three most, destructive letters in sports entertainment, the RK, and then the nose scream by Jeff sold it really nicely. So, good promo from those two. You know, somewhat exciting, but knowing that we still have 2 weeks out before we really get to see anything, it was like, all right, okay for a SmackDown. At least they're building towards the pay-per-view, unlike Raw, I felt like was just heavily focused on Evolution. After that, we got Carmella backstage, and she did well here as well. You know, she made a good point. She said that all the attention follows the champion. Whoever holds the championship is the biggest in the company, you know, and that's why, you know, she was the biggest thing in WWE for the past 4 months. And she said that, you know, she beat Charlotte. Charlotte didn't beat her. And Mella's still money. And this is when R-Truth walked up and asked where Carmella went. And, you know, Ty Dillinger's like, please leave her alone. You know, and they're going back and forth. Made me chuckle. Again, you know, stupid thing. But she did well here. And R-Truth made me laugh. So not a bad segment overall.
Right. Yeah, it was... wait a minute. The Carmella in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Dude, so at this point, like, about SmackDown, again, I'm feeling bored. I don't know about you, but at this point, I'm like...
It's not great. I mean, Carmella having a good segment is not a highlight of a SmackDown, you know? And
it's...
Randy and Jeff setting up the Hell in a Cell is interesting. I mean, what they said there wasn't exactly gripping and newsworthy. I mean, the match will be good, but it's, you know... All right, they're talking, so... Randy, creepy or not, he's not one of my favorites on the mic. I enjoyed Jeff getting the audience behind him with the delete chants and, you know, whatnot. But still, like you said, it's been pretty boring so far. Now the Iconics come out, you know, Billy Kay, Peyton Royce. They are just not connecting with the crowd like they used to still in NXT. And it wasn't awful what they said.
Dave Meltzer was right. Dave Meltzer was right.
You know, what did he say? Not as thick, or too thick. You know,
whatever.
Billy Kay's talking about being, you know, omnipotent and clairvoyant. She said she saw the Toronto Raptors having a terrible season, and the arena just let out the most vivacious boos. You know, we've pretty much heard all night. And she said that she saw Naomi crying and she's going to lose in this match. So now the crowd starts chanting for the Raptors very loudly.
Wow.
Yeah. Then we get Billy Kay defeating Naomi.
It took me a while to realize that, dude, this match was garbage.
This was awful.
I would have fired if I was the I don't know, I would have fired all of them if I was Vince. If I was the owner of this wrestling company, I probably would have fired people. Like those kicks, there was at least 4 kicks that looked like they were completely missed.
Oh, they were so off point.
This was one of the worst matches I can remember on SmackDown this year. It was awful.
They were like playing tennis with each other, just kind of bouncing back and forth and going through the middle ropes and then just a quick roll up. But a minute and 30 seconds is all you can give us for the women. Come on.
Oh God, it felt like I gotta tell you, it felt like eternity to me.
Yeah,
it was so bad
because it was such a shitty match.
Oh, it was so bad. Yeah, it's
this
is
one of
really
those
bad.
times you don't want it to go longer. Granted, but it's just kind of keeping up with the theme that we're building towards the all women pay-per-view.
It looked like a Divas match from back. It really did. It looked like a Divas match. Like, and I know that they're better than this. I know they're better than this. They're playing. It's like they've been dumbed down. Like the Iconics. Listen, I think Peyton Royce is really good in the ring. I really didn't care as much for the other girl, and I can't even remember Billie Kay. I don't even remember her name because I didn't like her. I didn't like her in NXT, but I really liked Peyton Royce.
She's still a bit green compared to Peyton, so.
But I like Peyton Royce much better. But you know, and Naomi sometimes has been known to kind of miss a few things too, similar to even Natalya has, and they've really missed together. Naomi and Natalya have had some weird matches.
Oh my God!
As
yeah,
bad
especially
as
when
those,
they were, going for the title and whatnot with Naomi, being champion. That was really bad.
This was extremely bad though tonight. This was real bad. You're out there for a minute and you couldn't, execute these moves. I mean, it was really
it wasn't anything
embarrassing to wrestling. Like, if this was like 1990, I feel like someone should have been like beaten up. Like, I mean, it was just like slapper or
that
something.
comment you just made right there. You felt like it was what 1994. You were going to say like.
No, I felt like if it was anywhere like back in the day, one of these girls, like I would have slapped the other girl. I would have been like, you know what, you better start kicking me for real or something. I would rather her kick me in the head than those completely missed kicks that I saw tonight. It was so bad.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It wasn't like they were botching these really difficult and sequential moves here. It was simple kicks. It was the simplest of simple things to do, and they couldn't even fall through the ropes properly or get a decent looking roll up. That says a lot. I've never been a fan of Naomi, and I got shit for it back originally, and unfortunately in today's day and age it always has to come down to a chauvinistic or race thing, and that's an unfortunate side effect of
that's just
the
stupid
times,
because we all look like marks cheering for the women in NXT. So
exactly, and that was one of the reasons I brought up Matt's point last night.
Right.
But I couldn't. Naomi has had some decent matches, but I've never been blown away by her. And most times it's just her, jumping her ass in somebody's face as a finisher. I've never been crazy about it.
But I like it because it looks horrific. When people hit her, it looks like they just got concussed. Like, I'm actually concerned that it hurts people. Like,
it might.
It looks a lot better than many other moves. Like, to be honest, it's kind of weird because you don't expect it. If you throw someone off the ropes and then all of a sudden, instead of like getting ready to backdrop you or to punch you or to clothesline you or to drop down, they jump up in the air and throw their ass in your head. Like, it really does. It is jarring. I like how she executes it. Like, and I don't like stupid moves, but it actually kind of works. I've seen some horrific rear views. Go back and look at them. Some of them are crazy. Like, they're really last minute and they're impactful. And a lot of the other stuff she does look stupid, but that is actually one of the better things, I think.
But Naomi never sells, it seems like. She gets hit with these hellacious maneuvers and you just see her pop right back up time and time and time again. And conversation for another point in time. But, it's just, so when you saw these two in the ring, it was just like, kill us now. This is not good. So all night we've had nothing decent for, this is the second match of the night, and already both matches have been filled with botches and just not enjoyable at all. So SmackDown's really taken a hard left to fuckville. It's not good. The live crowd doesn't give two shits about the Iconics. They're not really behind Naomi as much as they used to be, so everybody was just silent except for the Raptor chant.
Right.
They need to figure out something different with them here. It's not working. I don't know if they need to, have these girls, reinvent their characters a bit more or what, but something's got to be done because whoever produced that match needs to have his testicles stomped on. I think that's a decent punishment at this point in time. I certainly would take that punishment with pride if I put that match together. My God, it was embarrassing, like you said. And knowing that they're building towards Evolution, it's not that far away. We got 6 weeks, something like that, 8 weeks.
I mean, okay, so like in the scheme of things, I don't mind in a way that they do a little quick thing because you have the main event
It can
coming
be
up.
quick if it's good.
Well, I know exactly, and that's the thing. If you'd gone out there and executed well, like it would have been fine because it got the point across. The whole point was just to have a little quick thing so that she could get pinned again. The Iconics could get another pin because obviously, right, they're setting up that Naomi's got to get a tag team partner.
Yeah,
so
she's
they're
gonna
all
get somebody on her side.
So maybe she's gonna bring back her old friend or whatever. Like I don't know, something stupid like that. But you know, so she's setting up obviously that I need to go get some help or I need to go get whatever.
Yeah.
So great. We don't need much of a match to get that story out of the way. But dude,
she's gonna have Asuka come and help her. That's my prediction.
Well, you're right because Asuka's been missing, so that will be big too. Yeah, and then they'll win quick, and that's stupid too. But either way,
I bet you that's gonna go that way.
At least execute the moves a lot better. Let's take a couple
Fuck
donations.
yeah, I got
in.
everyone's addresses, man. I got everyone's fucking addresses, man.
Seriously, I can't wait for All In. It's gonna be an awesome weekend.
Hell yeah.
Looking forward to Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr. It's gonna be fire, fire,
Yeah.
fire, 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 fire.
That might be brutal, John Wills. John, thanks for the $5 donation, John. I appreciate that. Dude, I am psyched for All In. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the show tonight because I am excited, man. That's going to be a big day. I'm not going this year, this obviously it's the first year. It's the first time ever, but I'm not going to be able to make it out there, unfortunately. But I will be talking about it probably all day, and then, of course, as soon as the event is over, we'll be talking about it as well. You can get it on pay-per-view. You can get it on the Fight app. Obviously, our buddy Connor is over there. There's no super chat.
Can you see a day where NXT leaves WWE like WCW, NWA?
I don't, Mario Rodriguez. I don't see that happening, but I can see them separating it more.
Sup, Joe and Jake.
What's up?
Smackdown was decent tonight. King Booker returns. Almas and Brian was good.
Booker!
Oh, and Becky's coming for that fucking title. Hype, we're all in.
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. Triple Gaming, thank you for becoming a $5 shit bum. And becoming that sexy $5 shit bum. Thanks for the $5, my friend. Triple Gaming, you're the man. 5.5 out of 10 he gives SmackDown tonight. I'm going to go ahead and, well, we'll talk about it a little more. I'll give my prediction in a minute. And again, like I said, just after 11, we're going to be joined by Big Bacon coming in. So it'll be fun to hear from him. Best Comedy, what's up, man? Thanks for subbing to the channel. We're having a subscription party. Hey, we can ask Big Bacon what Ryback was like at the last couple shows.
Yeah, really, that would be good.
I should have told him to go
Fuck
up
yeah, I
and,
got everyone's addresses, man.
Oh, shit.
I got everyone's fucking addresses, man.
Becky Lynch is the most over person on SmackDown.
Yeah, man. They even gave her the bitch thing. You know, that tells you they're looking at her some way. You know, they gave her the B word. They let her say the B word. Charles Xavier, thanks for the $5. Now, you wonder if WWE is purposely booking her this way to get the fans even more riled up for her, or if they really believed that they were going to make her heel. I can't believe that they really believed that they were going to make her the...
That's what reports have said.
I'm
that
confused.
They thought this was going to work.
They did? They can't. Like,
Yeah.
They have
From
to be
everything
smarter
that I've
than
read
that.
so far, yeah.
Because I
That's
feel
what sucks about it.
I feel like they're smarter than this, and they're like kind of working us that like, oh, you know, they're trying to make us think that.
Yeah, I would like to give them that benefit of the doubt, and I'm trying to, but my God, it certainly doesn't seem that way. And for everything that I've read and heard reported time and time again, they went all for it.
Islamic and educated. Thank you for the subscription.
Great name. They wanted to go ahead and see that, you know, see it work.
Oh, there he is.
Gorilla
He
Strong.
is the perfect 10. Where is the perfect 10? I don't know. Oh, he's in the back.
What's up, Joe and Jake? Watching Raw and SmackDown live makes me want to punch babies. I believe Ty said it best. This is my life. WTF WWE writers. Are you even fucking trying? Sigh. 3/10.
3 out of 10 from Gorilla Strong tonight. Certainly, Andrade Cien Almas versus Daniel Bryan was, the highlight probably.
Yeah,
for
that
me.
was good.
The Joe and AJ storyline.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I'm so
Oh
fucking
my
horny.
god!
Oh my god! I'm so fucking
fucking horny. Happy fucking birthday. Oh my god, so fucking horny. Oh my god. So
How hard are you
horny.
right
Oh
now,
my
Jake?
God, so
How
horny.
hard are you
Happy
right now,
birthday.
Jake?
Oh, honey, honey, honey. Donation, donation. Time, time. Put it in my round bum.
Yeah, baby, dance.
Read the WWE Network app Smackdown live notifications while at the gym. Normally I wouldn't agree with HIAC for grudge non-title match. But heel Orton can be sadistic in it. Highlight so far is Ciampa new theme. He looks like Stone Cold with HHH mentality.
The Goon, thank you for the $16, Goon. I appreciate that. And Ciampa has a new theme. I didn't even know that. So I like the silence that they had, but
Yeah, the silence was a beautiful choice. Whoever decided that was perfect because it just allows the crowd to boo the living hell out of him.
Super chat.
Give SD Florida wages out of 10. Kill myself.
What the hell? Oh, serious stroke game. Serious stroke game. Thank you for the $2, my friend. Thanks for the $2, serious stroke game. All right, so where are we at with the review? I guess.
Yeah, before we get there, Monday Nitro, made a great point saying that Road Dogg online on Twitter agreed with Ryan Satin about how Becky should be being booed right now. So I mean, yeah, that was their intentions. They really went, no pun intended.
Oh, really?
Intended, all in with this. Yeah,
Oh my God, they're idiots. Are they
it
idiots?
is baffling, isn't it?
Where's my phone? Are they idiots? Are they stupid?
I don't know. Like I said, from everything that I've read from pretty credible people so far, this was their plan, and that's the thing. Like with Becky, the crowd is cheering her on as she's coming out, interfering, attacking, beating down the face champion. They needed to do it against somebody else. Charlotte is such a prototypical or atypical heel that the crowd is just instinctively ready to boo her. Even when she's good, she's bad. So putting her as the face and hero of this situation and having Becky, break up the friendship and attack her, it should have been handled better, or just the way it was done makes Becky look like, she was right, or that she's in the right too. When you think about it, she snapped. She had enough. Why was Charlotte put into the match? She didn't deserve it. She'd been out for months. What made her suddenly become, given the right to be #1 contender for the women's championship? She's had how many championship wins now? It certainly looks like she's been favored heavily and been, favoritism shoved up our ass. It's just, female Roman Reigns syndrome, unfortunately. So the crowd doesn't want to see Charlotte win. They don't want to see her as a face, really. They booed Charlotte holding on to her title after getting beat in the middle of the ring to close out SmackDown. And the crowd was just cheering Becky on so heavily.
I mean, dude,
and that's the thing.
The crowd.
It failed.
The crowd has. They're so stupid because the crowd has booed Charlotte, despite how awesome Charlotte's been. I like Charlotte, but they have booed her because she just always seems heelish and she gets the Roman push. So the people boo her.
Exactly.
The people love Becky. So not only do the casuals. All right. So when Sasha and Bayley came in, Sasha and Bayley never got the. They did get a push. They really did, but they really never got to have. They never had the matches we thought they would have. They never ended up hitting the 9 or 10 we thought they'd hit. Becky came in at a level 7 and basically stayed a 7, whereas Sasha or an 8 or something, I don't know. And Sasha and Bayley sunk down, and somehow Becky was always loved. So the casuals who didn't watch Becky in NXT took to Becky. So all the casuals chose Becky as the one they liked. They didn't get Sasha Banks and the boss thing. They didn't get it. Bayley's kind of cartoony and goofy, so only some of them like her. But everybody kind of got on board with Becky, casual fan-wise. And then all of the smarter fans enjoy Becky a lot as well. So naturally, everyone gets on the same page with cheering her, and they push her and push her and push her, similar to Dolph Ziggler. She's like the female Dolph Ziggler at this moment. And so any chance Becky gets, people are going to cheer for her, and because there's been this underground build for her going on top of the casuals cheering for her. And Charlotte, there's always been a we respect her a lot, and she really does some good stuff, but kind of annoyed how she gets pushed, some of the casual fans would say, and many of the smarty fans hate Charlotte because of her being pushed all the time. However, in the back of their heads, they do respect Charlotte and like her, but they want to boo her because they're sick of the push. So all that is how that's what's in all the brains of the fans. And then WWE couldn't really have thought that they could just have a simple "I'm jealous of you" thing from Becky, especially when they really painted it as like sometimes, you know, when they make villains, a good villain does things for a real reason. It's kind of like in Star Trek, the first one in 2009, the remake Star Trek, the first one, that guy Nero, he gets angry because they blew up his planet. It's like you kind of see why he's mad. You know, Khan in the second one especially. I kind of see what he was mad about. You know, you almost cheer for him.
And people agreeing with Thanos, you know, saying like, oh, I can see, you know, his mindset. And that's why they had the Reddit, Thanos did nothing wrong.
With Becky, you can really agree with Becky. You can very much agree with Becky. So they couldn't have really believed that they were going to flip Becky and then people were just going to start chanting for Charlotte because Becky did a bad thing. They had to have known.
And on top of it, Matt makes a great point in the chat. They conveniently left out the part twice now. They did it on YouTube. They edited it out last week on Smackdown's uploads.
Yeah.
And tonight, they didn't show where Becky talked shit about the fans in the promo packages. Because remember last week, she cut the promo kind of, you know, digging back at the fans. Why haven't you had my back all this time? You know, blah, blah, blah. And that wasn't included either on the YouTube uploads or tonight's recap.
Why?
So they didn't. I don't know. Why would they not include that with her attacking the fans?
Maybe they're backing off it. Maybe they're like, oops.
Maybe because then WWE.com today has an interview with none other than the lesbian duo Sasha and Bailey, and these carpet munchers, they take Becky's side.
Oh my God.
They take Becky's side, Joe.
Oh,
they actually go ahead and they said they could see the downfall coming for quite some time, and they said they're not taking this too seriously. I want to find the exact. Yeah, they seem to be taking their fellow horsewomen's relationship too seriously and claim that their downfall could be spotted for quite some time. In the end, both Bailey and Sasha take Lynch's side.
Wow.
So they're taking the faces of Sasha and Bailey are taking heel Becky's side and can see why she's so mad. But we're supposed to boo Becky.
I mean, maybe we're not, dude. Maybe they're just fucking with all of us.
Maybe they're just trying to reverse this as fast as possible because
maybe
it didn't work.
Maybe they're working us. But I mean, they maybe thought too that, you know, in WWE's mind, they could think, well, Brooklyn's a weird crowd. Toronto can be weird. So like they're like, all right, let's see how this goes in, you know, South Dakota or whatever. They never go to South Dakota. I don't think WWE's ever. Where the hell is? They've never run South Dakota, have they? I've never even heard of a place.
Yeah, you know, and it's just maybe they are putting, you know, the brakes on as fast as possible. They're trying to take a left out of Fucksville and bring us to Make Senseville, but it's just not working. You know, it's not. The fans don't want to boo Becky. She's too much of an anti-hero at this point in time. How many times have you been knocked down and screwed over? You know, you didn't get that promotion at work. You didn't go ahead and get the raise. You didn't go ahead and get the house. You didn't, you know, somebody else got it instead. And
right.
You were so close. You worked so hard and you didn't get to achieve your dreams or get what you want. That's exactly what happened here. And that's so relatable to everyone. How could you boo that?
I don't know. Maybe they're messing with us, trying to get us all worked up. Because they could be purposely holding down and holding back on purpose to get everybody riled up like we are. And that, I wouldn't put it past them to do that. They're smart.
I wouldn't
sometimes.
either. And feeding everybody BS, you know, saying they're going gung ho.
They got me
it,
tweeting Road Dogg like, "What are you doing?" Like, and it's like, haha, like we got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the stupid marks like flipping out on us too. Hey, 718, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Joe? Jake, how you doing?
What's going on?
Hey, great. I really don't know how to think about this SmackDown. I don't know what you guys thought about it, but I kind of like the story progression, yet for some reason it just felt, I don't know, like it was just real slow going.
Yeah, I felt...
Like I'm kind of like between like a 5 or a 6 or something.
I felt like I was falling asleep tonight. I did like the little bit of extra story with AJ and Samoa Joe. Their stuff has been pretty good. That was good. Cien Almas versus Daniel Bryan I thought was great. The Miz with Daniel Bryan coming out at the end there. So the match was good. Then they progressed the story there. Very kind of sadistic stuff. So that was kind of this. I would say the second half of SmackDown certainly won the night. I mean,
yeah, it started to get better as time went on. Once we got into the second hour, just kind of like Raw in a sense too. Once we got rid of, it was very, very, very PG to start and kind of stayed that way for a while, and it got better as you said. Brie Bella making her entrance, I was like, oh no, here we go, and then it did end up getting better with that whole segment and how everything worked, but.
Yeah, and by the way, people saying like, oh, I like that, like people disagreeing with me on Twitter or disagreeing with me like, I disagree, Joe, Becky is better as a heel. Well, that's not really what I'm saying. Because what I'm saying is, I like Becky with this attitude.
Yeah.
But there's a difference. When you say heel, see, people are getting confused. When you say heel or face, like, if somebody is the heel, that means the crowd should boo them. Okay? It doesn't matter why they're the heel. The crowd should boo them. So, like, a lot of people need to understand these terms, especially if you're going to tweet me to fight with me about it. So, Becky Lynch is, to me, a face.
She's vindictive, anti-authority, but she's not...
She's got a new attitude where she's kind of acting heelish, and she's badass, and she is being the aggressor, but that doesn't make her heel. But so like when we say that, we're saying if WWE is trying to make her heel, it's not working. She's being cheered for while acting heelish. So to me, obviously Becky Lynch is the face right now. She's the face in all this, and she's what she's doing is great. So
that's exactly the thing. Diva Bible had said to me, he's like, personally, I like Becky as a heel because as a face, she did nothing for me. She needed a change. And I was like, I agree entirely. I like it. But when I think about it, and as you just said, that makes perfect sense. I like her now. That attitude change is perfect.
Right.
She needed to be that. I hate to compare it to, Days of Old, but
it's like
that's
Stone Cold.
Exactly what it is. She has a Stone Cold vibe to her that, DTA, screw authority. If I can't earn it, I'm going to take it. And that's a great attitude to have for the women's division.
Now, here's the opposite of that. Bret Hart. Bret Hart was a face, and then Bret Hart got sick of being screwed over, and he attacked Vince, and he acted like an entitled douche, and the crowd turned on him. Almost immediately they began turning on him, and then they turned the volume up on that, and then he was clearly a heel acting like an asshole. When he went to Canada, he was over with the crowd. So it's the opposite of that with Becky. It's just the way it is. I don't know. So she's not a heel.
How often do you see somebody get attacked and beat down, and you're supposed to be sympathetic and cheering him on, and the crowd is just ripping into him? It's unfortunate, And that was one of the things I didn't really catch last night. But you listened to Michael Cole, and last week when Braun was getting attacked by all three members of the Shield, it was great, and he had goosebumps and it was glorious. And then this week when it's 3-on-1 against Roman, it's dastardly and the worst thing ever. And
right,
it's the same situation. You had a 3-on-1 attack last week that you were so excited for, and it was the best thing ever. But now, you flip the roles, and oh my God, Roman's getting beat. This is so unfair. Well, why is it unfair when it was okay the week before? Why? Because it's Roman Reigns? That's the disgusting part. I know that's a whole separate, bucket of shit, but still, it's just it's so amusing. There's just so much where your brain picks up on it, but your ears didn't. So
right, I agree. It's I mean, I don't know what else to say about SmackDown. To me, it was a very simple sort of.
Yeah, I liked the match that Almas and Bryan had. I liked the way The Miz came out and cost him the match, and it got to be very, sadistic and vindictive at the end, making him, be forced to be put in his own submission maneuver. He's in the yes lock by The Miz, and they're beating the crap out of his wife. The promo that Daniel Bryan delivered before everybody came out, I thought was good. Brie saying it was good to punch The Miz. She's got the hardest punch in the business. Daniel saying it was hot, and that he loved seeing his baby mama kick some major ass.
And Almas chopped the shit out of Bryan earlier too. That was nuts.
That was great. The match itself was very good. That I liked the hammerlock DDT, and then it was just everything after the match was really good. I like this, and I'm curious to see, are they going to get help going forward? Especially now that you have 4-on-2. It's kind of a good thing, thankfully, that Cena and Nikki are split, or else I imagine it would be 4-on-4. But
I think
after that
they'll keep him away from. I think Cien Almas and Zelina Vega will just they'll
they'll
move off of this, or at least the go home show. Maybe it will be 4-on-2 or some kind of thing like that,
or they'll have the Miz and Maurice not be involved, but they'll get their revenge.
By the way, I think this is a safe way to get out of the story right now. By the way, if they do it, like if they decide to end the Bryan Miz story right now and come back to it at WrestleMania, this is a great out for.
This puts it on the back burner nicely.
Well, because Daniel and Brie can get the win. And it's not, maybe Bryan doesn't pin the Miz, maybe Brie pins Maurice, and they sort of win, and then that backs off the Miz and Maurice for now, and then that they can come back to this at WrestleMania, and they got what they wanted out of it for now, because Bryan still
tentatively
doesn't have
the rumor
a win.
is that Miz is going to be feuding with AJ, but we'll see.
And if they did have another one, I again would have the Miz win. To build to WrestleMania at some point, to wait for the build at WrestleMania to continue this. But I don't know, maybe there's other plans. I mean, we're playing armchair bookers for the future, which we don't know what the hell they're thinking, so I don't know. But that's...
Yeah. After this, we got AJ and Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe's delivery here is still fantastic. This just isn't, connecting with me. I know a lot of people are loving it. I'm not...
What the hell?
I wish there was a little more. He's called out, Wendy, and he's called her, and he's been in her face. I wish we saw a bit more. Like he actually showed up at the family barbecue instead of just talking about it.
Well, I think we're getting to that because he's.
You think so? Because I don't know if they're going to be comfortable going there.
Well, I wish they would because Samoa Joe was AJ's friend, and I wish that almost Corey Graves or somebody, and maybe they'll do it next week. But I wish that somebody was like, "Well, Jesus, guys, I mean, Samoa Joe and AJ were friends at one time, and." They know where each other lives. They know each other's numbers.
Well, they said that. They said that they had been to each other's homes, and they've been friends for over a decade, and they traveled together and stayed at, in each other's couches, and this was said
He should have threatened to dox him. He should have threatened to dox AJ Styles or something.
I mean, they literally have just had Samoa Joe go on and on about being that absent father that's not home, that's not showing up and being daddy, and I'm going to make him come home in pieces. He said the same thing for weeks now. It's just, he won SummerSlam in a good way by making AJ snap, so he broke him, and made him, go past his limits. Okay, I like the way that worked out. But then last weekend, he's still calling out Wendy into the camera. Now he's calling her. I just don't feel like it's escalating enough or it's changing enough. It feels like a rehash to me. They're both delivering and putting on great performances, but I'm just not crazy about how they're handling the story at this point. So,
right. Well, let's take another couple. I think that they just need to do something a little bit harder. I like that they took a step back.
They need something.
There was a step back. Last week he jumped them. This week they didn't. There was no contact this week. He was in the back making a phone call, so I think it's okay that they took a step back. But next week, hopefully, there's something more crazier that happens next week. And give me a hell
yeah! All slips, all misses, all cringe, all embarrassing, all funny, all in with Instagram. At Botch Club, follow the Botch on Instagram at Botch Club.
All right, Botch Club on Instagram. I think I do follow them on Instagram, by the way, Botch Club, that is. I'll check you out, Botch Club. Botch Club. Botulism Club. Imagine that. That'd be weird. That'd be horrible. 773. Hang on 1 second.
Could a wrestler be so generic and so bland that he could get over? Also, here's an idea for New Japan in States. They have 2 title classes, IWGP and Never Open. What if you make new show with just Never titles in West Coast states and IWGP Japan only?
Man, that's a big question, Goon. Shit, I don't know, Goon. He'd have to let me get back to you on that one. I could think about that a little bit. I might be able to come up with some ideas on that, Goon. Thanks for the donation, though, Goon. I appreciate it. Hey, I'll think about it, Goon. I'll get back to you. 773, what's up, man?
Hey, the Miz and Dave Bryan's gonna take each other on at that super showdown in Australia.
The Miz and AJ?
No, the Miz and Dave Bryan is gonna take each other. Take on each other at that super showdown. And it's a normal contenders match for the WWE Championship.
Oh wow, okay. So there you go. Maybe that's where
that makes sense then.
Maybe that's where they can also have the Miz cheat again or something, and then get to AJ if that's the way they go with it. Because we all think that, and especially I think Jake, do you still think? Because we were thinking like Daniel Bryan has never won the Rumble, and that's all people ever want. You think they'll finally do it?
Especially with his contractual, promises. I heard that he got quite a few things that he asked for. I heard that he had put out a list of, not demands, but requests.
He's not much of a demander, so we'll see.
No, that's what I'm saying. They weren't demands, they were requests. And I guess he was pleasantly fulfilled and surprised, and they upped obviously his payment was included and upped. They gave him the showcase mode in 2K19, which I think is fantastic. You get to play through his whole career in retrospective. That's a great thing for him.
But do you think he really asked for that? You think Daniel Bryan was like, "Give me the showcase mode"? No.
I think they greased the wheels.
Oh,
I think
okay,
they offered this to him to make him stay with the company, because he was looking at, and I can't quote these figures directly, but he was looking at, up to specifically $500,000 paydays for some of these indie, appearance contract obligations. It was not one show, but for like 3 shows and things like that. He was going to make a shit ton of money on the indies, not including everything else. And the thing with the independents that people don't always recall or know is that, travel and accommodations and all that stuff is typically taken care of as well, which WWE doesn't provide. So I'm curious what amenities and promises and offerings they tried to pursue and persuade Daniel Bryan with.
Right.
Specifics haven't been put out yet, but apparently he had some, like you said, some not outlandish but serious recommendations and askings, and no demands, and he was pleasantly surprised and very happy. He got a significant pay increase. He got a royalty increase. He was offered the showcase mode for 2K and a few other things. So
I want to win the Royal Rumble. That's what
2K said they wanted to do that for 2K18, but he wasn't cleared. Yeah, I recall that as well. But
that's what I would ask for if I was Brian. I'd be like, you know what? I want to win the Rumble. Come on.
I wish we knew more about what the contract, holds, but I don't doubt it the way they touted this. There's something big in there, and I'm sure by the time we get to Mania, we'll be like, oh, that makes sense.
Maybe Joe will even kind of get in the way of AJ's run here, and if AJ were to lose the belt, then him and Joe would continue, and you'd have the Miz as, believe it or not, as maybe the WWE champion. I almost feel like WWE really does feel like they owe something to the Miz again, which is weird to say in a way, because he's great. He's been given so much. I don't particularly love him, but he is such a great character, a good talker. He's a pretty decent match, in the ring. So he does his job really well, better as far as character-wise than almost anybody else. He's not AJ Styles wrestling-wise, but everything else he does is so good. So I could see all the stuff he's done. I could see him getting a championship run here, and we've been hearing about it for a while now. So
yeah, that's for sure.
Let's drop a couple donations here and see what people got to say.
Pour me a beer. You've got a new subscriber.
This is
Reaper,
going into,
what's up?
The Reaper Kitty 6666666.
I think that undoes itself and makes you now you're. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what else they added to his contract.
Super chat. Becky, aka Killmonger.
Angel Pimentel. Thank you very much for the $2, man. What's up, man? Thank you, man. We got a couple more. Man, I'm just gonna say, man.
Super chat.
So many people watching.
Super chat. I'm pumped for NXT in October in St. Louis. Love, yeah.
That's gonna be good. Sarah Small. What's up, Sarah? I was just watching Stabbing Westward live in St. Louis the other night at that club. I was, give me that hell yeah! St. Louis.
They flip people too many times. Also, it's not only Roman. Today fans cheer who seems cool, not who WWE necessarily wants.
True.
Do you think this trend will basically kill face-heel thing?
No.
Rock and Austin started it, but back in the day fans didn't cheer heels.
Yeah, but Diverse, thank you for the $3.16. It's Austin 316. But it's different because back in the day, the WWE would adjust to the fans. Give me that hell yeah! They don't do that.
If Roman identifies as a woman, Can he challenge for WWE Raw Women's Championship at Evolution? WWE supports PR on modern societal conflicts, so surely we can have Roman, Reina, and Dillinger identify as invisible. Here.
Roman Reina.
Imagine Roman turns transgender and then becomes also the women's champion. That would be wild. How about that?
At this point, I could feasibly see them doing that. That's something I could fathom, honestly. Imagine,
I would do it.
Ronda Rousey, Superman punch, 3 count.
I would do it with somebody. You know, like if James Ellsworth had still been here, I would have done it with somebody. I would have had him gone to like get the surgery and everything. And and then he comes back and he's like, legally, you have to give me a title shot or I'm going to sue this company. You know what I mean? And then like,
it's like Goldust wanting to get implants.
And Paige is like, we're not doing it. It's not going to happen. And then finally, you know, like Becky or whoever the champion is, you know, Charlotte says, I'll face him, you know, and then he cheats in the match and wins and becomes the women's champion.
That's got Santina all over it.
But dude, you know
people
what?
would be in an uproar.
The LGBTQ would lose their minds because you painted the LGBTQ person as the bad guy. But it'd be like, but no, but it's not true because no, like he's not really supposed to be transgender. He just did it so he could win a belt. So that's worse. So you would want to boo him. So
Mav says super cunt punch.
Yeah, like that's how he would end the match. He'd hit her with a low hole or blow or whatever you call it. I don't know.
Walnut Wagons, yeah.
Right in the walnut.
Yeah, no kidding.
But anyway, so that's about it for SmackDown, right? Did we miss something?
Yeah, no, we had Samoa Joe, like we said, backstage saying that he's going to be at the back-to-school barbecue. He's coming home, save him a plate. It just felt, you know, like it was on repeat. And then we had Charlotte versus Carmella, which was a pretty good match between the two. I know a lot of people kind of hate on Carmella at times, but I've thoroughly enjoyed her with her title run. She's just gotten better and better. And, you know, we saw Charlotte hit the spear, puts her in natural selection, gets the figure 8, and then Carmella struggles, but eventually she's got to give in, taps out. Becky runs out and just lays her out, punches, kicks, a whole flurry, grabs a microphone and says she's taking her title back, you bitch. And the crowd erupts, goes wild, cheers for her, and boos Charlotte, and that's how we ended SmackDown. So, all in all, I mean, the main event was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Daniel Bryan's match and him losing to Almas was good.
Right.
The AJ and Samoa Joe was okay for me, not great. And everything else was just pure garbage tonight. The Iconics was bad with Naomi. Randy and Jeff was okay. I know the match will be good, but not that they had a bad promo. It just kind of fell flat in the sense that you just want to hurry up and get to the match. And the tag match in the beginning was essentially pointless because now next week they're going to have another 6-team tag match. And then the winners are going to face off at the Go Home show to find out who faces the New Day. So, and King Booker was just too childish for me.
I don't know why I liked it. It's weird. I normally wouldn't, but I just thought it was funny tonight. I don't know why. I thought the New Day was coming out, and I was like, oh boy, I'm not gonna like this. And then, you know, when they came out and they were like, oh, you know what? Like, it's King Booker. Like, what? Like, I was so thrown off by it that it was so funny to me. Like, I was laughing as he came down the ramp because I was just like, this is ridiculous. So I enjoyed it. It looks like a good little, what a throwaway there by Murphy. Murphy Chuck Callisto into the announce table on 205 Live head first. He went full Shawn Michaels. Well, not full Shawn Michaels, but he went half Shawn Michaels off the announce table, which was pretty cool. I can still remember. I think it might have been, I don't know if it was WrestleMania 14 or which WrestleMania it was, but Shawn got hit off the side apron, and just him falling off the apron, turning around and hitting his head on the announce table was sold so well that I just loved it. I love that type of. I love Shawn's selling. You know, obviously sometimes when he went a little ridiculous, like against Hogan type of thing, was a little crazy.
Well,
but
that was intentional. But
yeah, I mean, that was
he was vindictive with that one after being screwed over by Hogan. So
he was great in the first Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker. That was so.
Oh yeah,
dude, I've watched that now 3 times. It is so good. Like, I mean, it was so good then. It was, it's arguably the best
when
one.
Kane debuted, yeah.
It's either when Kane debuted, it's either the best one. Some people like Mankind and Undertaker better because of the spots with Mankind, and I agree. That was amazing, and it really was. It's either number 2 or number 1. I mean, I'd probably give it to Foley just because that was insane. But again, it comes down to wrestling. If you prefer a wrestling match, that Shawn Michaels and Undertaker match was number 1. It was phenomenal. If you appreciate shock factor, then Mankind versus Undertaker is clearly number 1 as well. So those two matches are just those first two, and those are the first two, and they were, wow, man. It was like, how are they going to top Shawn Michaels and Undertaker? Because it was so good, and then just, oh well, I'll get thrown off the cell. Shawn must have been watching that and been like, God damn it! Like, I did all that stuff, all that methodical stuff we did, and that story we told wrestling-wise, and Foley just climbs up there and jumps off a cage.
It just falls off the top.
But it was good. I mean, it was either way. I can see, and that's the thing. That's what's so great about wrestling, and that's where people are wrong. Like when people say that, they stopped watching. What was it? Rybotch said he stopped watching NXT after the Adam Cole match with Ricochet because it was too flippy dippy. That's where, that's stupid. And that's also where some people who didn't appreciate Velveteen Dream or, the final match, it's like, dude, these are all good things. They're different versions of wrestling. And I think wrestling has been doing better nowadays when it's able to mix it up a little bit. The main roster does it a little bit, but NXT does it a lot. NXT gives you a fast-paced, exciting match that never slows down, never gives you time to breathe. It's pretty good. And then they give you a phenomenal stuff that you've maybe never seen before, high-flying, take your breath away, athletic show like Ricochet and Adam Cole. And then they give you the classic sort of story with Ciampa and Gargano that was hardcore enough and had such a story around it. And it was interesting, and it was that is probably the match that would have been best fit for the main roster out of all of them. But those three matches are different. All three of those matches are different. Not only are they different, because a lot of wrestlers would see every match as being so different. Like, my match was so different from his match, but the fans might have thought that they were similar in ways. Like, oh, that one was not, it's kind of boring. The next one was kind of the same thing, and then that third match, wow, that was different. But these three matches really had different makeups. And that's why I think NXT is just hitting a home run. Because you got something different in every one of those matches. And Velveteen and EC3 was kind of was the toned down match. The women's match was kind of sloppy. That was the only one where I thought there was a miss. But Velveteen and EC3 did their best. And even they had some good charisma. And it was a decent match. If you thought it was a 6 or 7, it was something like that. And I don't know, I just really appreciate that. And I think on the main roster, it seems to be that we get a lot of useless matches that you'll forget about in 2 seconds that are just there to further a story or don't even further a story. And then maybe nowadays we get that one maybe where the WWE says, okay, go out and wrestle, maybe like it's a pay-per-view almost. Not quite, but almost. And that's why you get a Seth versus Owens. You get Cien Almas versus Daniel Bryan tonight. And in that one, they integrated the story with having the good match. So, which is okay because you don't want to overexpose yourself on the weekly show. But that's why you need better backstage segments and better stories and things that they really don't seem to be doing on a WWE main roster tonight. But I would give SmackDown tonight probably a 4 out of 10 or something like that, in my opinion. Real quick, give me yours.
I was at a 4.5.
All right, well, there you go. Oh, 1.5 above me, you bastard. Well, anyway, I appreciate your rating there. But that's our SmackDown opinions. And I believe we have the birthday boy, the birthday bacon on the line. What's up?
What's up, baby?
Oh shit.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
How's it going, Mr. Big Bacon? Brad Hollister's in the house.
It's going, man. It's going. I'm sorry I am this late, man. Things have been going wild over here.
Dude, it's your birthday. People don't even... Dude, it is Brad Hollister's birthday. What have you been doing? Are you, partying or something, or are you just hanging out?
Dude, oh no partying tonight. Just started a diet recently, so been doing like 3-day sessions. Yeah, I know. It's like the shittiest time to have a diet, Mick. I don't know if I can swear. I'm sorry.
No, you can. Yeah.
Crappiest time to have it. Okay, good.
Well, happy
crappiest time to
26th
have a
birthday,
diet.
regardless.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, so it's just been 3 days lately, and then coming home and doing meal prep and all that lame stuff. But the good thing about this diet is it's like all meat protein. So right now I'm legitimately having a pizza and the crust is bacon. So
Oh my god, dude! Look at that bacon scarf, dude. So like,
so I do apologize if I'm eating, but like I said, crazy day today. I've been running around.
No, whatever, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. Hey, I wish I could go back to 26 and tell myself, hey, you know what? Do the diet now. Don't wait till 34. You're gonna look messed up. But dude, like,
if any of your listeners ever see me, I think you could tell that I enjoy lifting a lot, but I do not enjoy dieting.
Right.
So the diet is I think it's the first time I've ever tried a diet in my life. So
really,
let's do it.
Because there was a time a little while ago where, like, because you looked a little bigger, and then recently, or at least about a year ago or something like that, like, you really trimmed down, like, and got a little bit more lean and like, muscular.
Yeah. That was around the time you had the heavyweight championship for NEWC, right?
Yeah, well, it was honestly at that time, I was doing the tag with TK still, and I always say this, I will thank him forever, because he legitimately fat shamed me into the gym.
Really?
That's
cool.
Oh, dude, oh, yeah. But that's absolutely what I needed. And it wasn't that I got trimmed up and dieted. I just legitimately just started working out, you know? Like,
well, yeah, and
I lifted in high school, playing sports my whole life, and then really got lazy in wrestling. So I was like, I picked this up easy. I don't need to work out anymore. And then I just started looking like shit. So thank God for TK fat shaming me back into the gym.
Well, that's a great motivation.
Do you work out? Do you work out with TK O'Ryan now, or like, do you still get to see him? I know that he's busy, but you're all busy.
Oh no, we don't work out together because we live just so far away from each other. But
right,
when we do get a chance to hang out a lot though, so that's cool.
Is Taven still working out with those guys?
Like, what's up?
Is Taven still working out with them too? Everybody?
See, I don't know. Like I said, I'm working out down here. Like, he's out by like the edge of the Massachusetts, and I'm over here in Western Mass. So.
Yeah, that's such a pain because I know I want to try to come out to see you guys out there sometimes, and I don't make it. But yeah, I mean, actually, Taven is lives up the street from me, so it's kind of funny.
So there you go.
Yeah, I can chuck a rock at him. But
not only is this your your birthday as well, but it according anyways to the fabled internet, which if it's online, it's got to be true. It also says that it's your 10-year anniversary in the ring. So. Says you officially debuted, in August 30th, 2008, according to the Pro Wrestling Wiki. So they said at 16 years old you had your first match.
No, see, my first match was a little bit before that, but I think there was like 12 people there, so that's probably why it's not online anywhere.
Right.
But yeah, I had it August 15th. I do remember that, and it was it was 15. So 2008. Holy yeah.
So 10 years later, you've that's a heck of a career already.
Well, yeah. See, like I started wrestling when I was in high school because I really didn't care about school too much at the time, and my grades were low. And it was my first year. I couldn't play sports because my grades weren't up. And I was like, I got to do something. So I found the most local wrestling school, and I was like, hey, I'm 18. Can I wrestle? And yeah, so I started there. And then once I brought my grades up and I could start playing sports again, I went back to high school, finished all that. And then once all that was over, I came back to wrestling. So I did take like 2-3 years off.
When did you which wrestling school did you go to?
I wrestled high school for Chicopee Comp, but we were joined with the other high school in our city because both teams didn't have school. Both schools didn't have teams at the time.
Right.
So I wrestled for Chicopee High, which was our rivals during football season. So that was weird.
Who trained you in pro wrestling? How'd you get into pro wrestling?
I started up with Antonio Thomas from the Heartthrobs.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you remember. Yeah, dude. When I was younger, I was reading like every dirt sheet and everything online, and once the Heartthrobs got released, Antonio Thomas did an interview, and I can't remember the website. I always wish I can. But he did an interview with them, and he said that he trained in the Springfield, Mass area. And every time I looked for anything online at the time, it was only for Chaotic. And I was like, oh,
yep.
I'm 15. How am I going to get to Boston every day? You know what I mean?
You're right.
So once he said the Springfield, Mass area, I was like, what the hell? Like, I haven't found anything. So I emailed the guy who ran the website, and thank God he emailed me back, and then he got me in contact with Tom, and then took off from there.
That's so cool that they emailed you back, because they never usually email back. I think I emailed in 2005 Matt Heisen, and friggin' I emailed Chaotic, and nobody ever got back to me. And finally someday somebody was driving by the Kowalski school, and I begged them to drop me off, and I walked a mile there.
Oh wow,
it's crazy.
That's a badass story though.
It was
so
pretty cool though. It was pretty cool, yeah. But no, so I mean, dude, it's been 10 years. It's hard to imagine that, because like I've known about you now for about 5 years, and right now, is this the most success? Are you feeling like you're like this is really kind of going somewhere? Because I feel like this is some of the best it's been for you, right? You've had a lot of big matches recently. It's Swagger,
you just get Jack Swagger,
Matt Riddle, Flip Gordon's coming up,
dude.
and you've been wrestling
Swagger's
longer than
the
Flip,
man.
but yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, he's got to eat, man. It's Big Bacon, got to eat. Got to get those
Big Bacon's
carbs.
had some bacon crust.
No, that's the only thing I don't like about diets. It's like specific times you have to eat.
You're right.
Like, I just like eating when I'm hungry. Like, sometimes it's like, oh, you have to eat at this time, and I'm like, I'm really not hungry right now, but let me force this shit down.
Yeah, it's not easy.
going back to your question, absolutely. Like I said, my first couple of years, it's kind of like I started twice, because I came in so young, and I only worked for about like a year and a half, like actual matches and stuff. And when I came back to it, it was kind of like, just pretty much starting from scratch. Luckily, like, the technical stuff in the ring came to me kind of easy. So that part wasn't difficult. It was just more like get my name back out there. So that's why I think for me, the process was so slow starting.
Right.
But yeah, and it's honestly, it's just opportunity and being seen by the right people. Like, I was doing PvP for a while on ECW, and I kind of felt like I was just doing the same shows over and over and over.
Right.
And then I started getting into top rope, and then I ended up getting looked at by Northeast Wrestling, and then after that, just everything just started blowing up from there.
Yeah, really. I mean, I just saw you take on Matt Riddle. You guys are beating the snot out of each other in the crowd. A few weeks ago, I saw some of the highlights on Twitter. And then, next thing you know, you see him in the audience at TakeOver Brooklyn 4. So, I mean, that's got to make you feel
With
pretty damn cool.
Like a damn G.
It's got to be weird because...
Did you see that picture?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Like, oh, my God, that's badass.
Dude, you were on top of the dugout. It was great.
No, the Riddle thing, okay, this is the most carny I've ever been in my life. I'll drop an exclusive story right now.
Nice.
So, we get there a little early, right? And we're talking to the groundskeeper who kind of, is running everything, making sure we're setting up everything correctly. And he's a big wrestling fan, right?
Right.
And he's saying, he's like, yeah, guys. He's like, I don't care where you guys brawl. He's like, you guys can brawl in the dugouts. You guys can brawl in the field, whatever. So at that moment, it's me, Sumo, and Keith Youngblood. And I look them right in the eye. And I go, you don't tell anybody about that. I said, this is our secret.
Right.
So, because I wanted to
get
you
wanted to do it
with Riddle. So, you're 100% the most cardio I've ever been in my life. So, it ended up working out because, it was pretty badass visual. Like, it was the first time in my life I felt like a gladiator. He's walking at me with those turtle shell abs, and he's just looking like a stud. And I'm like, oh, no, this guy's going to fucking kill me.
Yeah, and those dugouts
That's
are
too
heavy.
funny.
It's not like wood that gives, really. A lot of times those dugouts are heavy, those ceilings, because it's on top of...
Everyone's like, oh, I'm surprised you guys didn't do a German up there. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, if you hit the back of your head,
doing
it's...
a damn German out of dugout. I'd give it a German out of dugout. Never mind take it. What the hell's your problem?
That's funny, dude. That was a great shot. And you got him, like, it was cool because you got Riddle right before he went into NXT. A lot of eyes are on him. Like, so, like, this. That's why I feel like you're in like a snowball right now. Like, you're really getting a lot of good matches. Like, you're... Like looking at Flip Gordon, like he's kind of an enigma, right? Like that doesn't happen often, because he was only here for a couple of years, and bam, he's in ROH. It's kind of like, what the hell am I doing over here? You know, but right now you're sort of getting in matches with the guys who are just kind of entering places like Ring of Honor, NXT, maybe New Japan, and stuff like that. You're now getting involved in matches with those guys, or guys like Jack Swagger, who was a big deal. Was that the main event recently at the ballpark, or was that just one of the? Not sure what that
it was a semi-main. They had a local boxer.
Yeah.
They did like a 3-round boxing match, and that's what they closed out with. He had a lot of family there and everything, so
that's cool.
It was cool though. It was cool. I got to watch a boxing match right after. It was pretty much like me and Swagger went out there, had like an amateur wrestling match, and then finished with a boxing match. So it's kind of cool way to cap off the show.
I normally get to those.
An awesome moment, yeah.
I'm mad that I missed those shows. I wish I got to see it, but maybe I'll see the video of it soon. But
High Spots Wrestling Network, baby.
Oh, cool.
Or
all right.
the Northeast Network. There you go.
All right.
Yeah,
because right there.
That's where I had seen, one of the matches, and Northeast Wrestling even has a media for YouTube. They have some of the clips up online as well. So
I'll go look at it. Hopefully, I hope they have commentary. Dude, I have seen.
They do. They have
awesome.
commentary. That's one thing that drives me nuts. Like when I watch my own matches, I cringe as it is.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing distracting me from just watching my match, oh my God, it's the worst. So that's what I do. I love watching it back, more so on High Spots than just watching it back like on a cell phone, because I'm like,
right.
I do. I'm like, oh, you hate watching yourself. I'm sure you hate listening to yourself sometimes,
Yeah, sometimes I do. No, I love myself, man. I don't know. I love it. No, but
I'm with you. You listen back and you're
it drives me nuts when there's bad, when there's like really weird commentary. Like it really does. Like I've been upset recently because I think Top Rope even doesn't release the DVDs, and I'm like, what the hell? Because I'll see you guys put on a match, and even sometimes if I'm not sure exactly what the story is, I'm sort of trying to like put it over the right way, and then like I'm like, I can't wait to see the match and how the commentary and everything synced up with what they were doing and how exciting it was, because I'm really excited when I'm calling these things. And sometimes I'll see a great match, and like the commentary is very, because it's people beginning. It might be a guy who never did commentary, and he's like, oh, Bacon hit that clothesline there. And you're just like, oh my God, this is the goddamn, like, no, they did such a good job, and this is the commentary.
Bacon on the outside.
But at least there's something there. When there's no commentary, it's like, man.
Standing.
Yeah. Get me, anybody, if you ever see a match of yours that you want commentary, send it to me. I'll be licking my face to call it. But tell me about this. You've been in Top Rope Promotions, which is more where I usually call for, and your success has been great with what you guys did with the closers. Tell me about that, like how that came about, how you like tag team wrestling versus singles at the moment right now.
I'm gonna answer that, but I'm gonna go back to a quick point that you made right there.
Yeah.
Like I've been working at Top Rope for about like 4 years now, right?
Right.
And you said like I've had, like I've like not to pat myself on my own back, but like I've had a lot of good matches there, right?
Right.
And they never get released anywhere.
Right.
So I think that like hurt me for a while of like just knowing who I am.
I agree. Yeah.
So I think with Northeast, where they have that bigger platform and they have the bigger online and everything, that helped my name get out there so much more. But going to tag team wrestling, I'm obsessed with tag team wrestling. I say it all the time. Like I can't hate where everything's going for me doing single stuff right now.
Yeah. Like
everything's going well. Like obviously I'm not angry wrestling Jack Swagger, but absolutely obsessed with tag wrestling. If I'm at home and I'm watching wrestling, 90% of the time it's tag wrestling.
Right. That's really, I mean, you can tell.
Sense. Yeah.
The execution is really good. Like I don't think people understand. Like I'm a full on mark for this stuff. Like, and it's very fun to watch. I mean, I've been watching wrestling for friggin' 33 years, but it is so fun to watch because, like, let's use Top Rope. I don't know how the dynamic with the fans is like in Northeast wrestling, but with Top Rope, because it's such a small sample and the same people a lot of the time, there's probably 300, 400, maybe 500 people who, depending on what's going on, show up or don't show up. But, you guys, there's a clear indication from the crowd of how over you guys were, especially last year, and probably still are, but I haven't been to show last few months. But you guys became, like, over. Like, Teddy Goods became the champion, and he was very over with the crowd. And despite you guys kind of being using heel tactics and being more heels, you guys became over. And if Teddy Goods like was to take a break from the show one night or something, you guys could be the headline, and that would mean like the tag team match would headline the show because of the type of reaction you were getting from the fans at Top Rope.
Well, thank you, man. I don't have to put
that's
myself
for
over after
certain.
that.
I'll
man.
put yourself. I'll put you over. I'll put you over again. I'll put you over again. One night I walked into Top Rope Promotions and they said, "Hey, you're going to be calling tonight with Les Thatcher." And I went, "What? Like, what is his name? Like the Les Thatcher?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I said, "Jesus, are you serious? This is awesome." So I sat down. And Les Thatcher sat down. And I'm like, this is amazing. Dude, Les Thatcher, he watched all the matches all night. We both called the matches all night. He was, like, your match that night was probably the best, I believe. I forget exactly who you were facing, but it was well done. It might have been the guy from New York. If it wasn't Antonio Thomas, it was the guy from New York. I can't remember his name.
No, it was Antonio Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember
then
that.
It was shit. Wow, I wish I could remember his name, but anyway, you guys had a really good match, and I think he liked it the most, and I just remembered that because it was one of my first nights in Brockton, and yeah, Les Thatcher really put over that match, man, on the DVD and to me. He was really explaining to me, and I was like, wow.
See, there you go. I've never seen the Les Thatcher commentary, so
I've got it, but I've got the DVD. I can show you that, but
At least that came out. Like
Cool,
you had said, it was really unfortunate because there's been many times where Joe's done commentary and he's like, "Oh, wait till you see this match. Wait till you hear the calls that I made for this match." And unfortunately, Top Rope, I'm not sure, the logistics of it, but they never released a good portion of the footage or the shows, the events. I mean, especially, I was there for the one with the Hardys, and
I can't believe that never got released.
That never came out.
It.
Yeah. And since you've been with New England Wrestling,
great footage for the guys to have too,
Yeah. And since you've been with New England Wrestling, I've gotten to see a good deal of your work. Joe brought you up a few years back, and like I saw parts of with you with Wrecking Ball taking on Adrenaline Rush and whatnot. And you've like you said with tag team wrestling, you've enjoyed. So
tell everybody where the bacon comes from, because you have a bacon scarf on your arm, but that came after the name, which is really funny. Like if you go to a show and you see a guy start being called Big Bacon, and then one week, he gets a bacon scarf. That's hilarious. Tell everybody about that.
So it was, I think, my first time at Top Rope, actually.
Wow.
Myself, Tunis, and TK were being introduced as part of like Team Waters, right?
Right.
And the Drew's like cutting this promo and he's putting everyone over. Because Drew's freaking awesome. And Drew's like, "Oh, this is Hammer Tunis. He's like an accomplished amateur wrestler. He's a badass. He's this, he's that. Here's TK O'Ryan, college baseball player. He's this, he's that. Here's Brad Hollister, state champion. He's this and that. He's a thick cut piece of bacon," right?
Right.
And it was legitimately that was it. And for some reason that popped TK huge. And TK would just start calling me bacon like just all the time, like when we're hanging out or if we're like talking about a match in the back or whatever, and it would be, "Oh, you'll hit bacon with this, and bacon will come in here." And so this is another reason I love tag wrestling, is because one of my favorite things to do in the ring is try to make whoever I'm in there with laugh.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky where my last few tag partners have been like good friends of mine in real life with TK and Tunis, so I just try to make them laugh 75% of the match. So with TK calling me bacon all the time, I would hit a big suplex or something, and I would fire up and go bacon or just something ridiculous, and then it started catching on with the crowd, and then like fans would like call me Turkey Bacon a lot. So then I was like, all right, this is catching on. So I ended up getting the scarf and everything, and then just everything came together. And if it wasn't for bacon, I probably wouldn't be selling the merch I sell. So
yeah,
I thank you, Drew, for giving me the most successful thing. Dude, I honestly, I say it all the time. Like, it sounds goofy, but like, if it wasn't for that nickname, man, like I don't think I would have developed my character is me turned up times 10.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I knew how to portray that before I had the bacon, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but and it really, dude, it comes out. It's amazing because you were more of a like intense, and sometimes like it's more not boring, but it was like, you know, you just kind of had that wrestler. You just look like a wrestler. There's a generic look.
Yeah, exactly. My whole character, I was like, oh, I'm a high school wrestler. Like
Yeah.
I was trying to be like Stoneface, like a Malenko, and that's just not me at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm goofy. I like to joke around. Like I like to have fun. So
it definitely hits, dude. Because like I've raved about you guys because I put it over. Like I swear to God, like it's something. It's really good. But with the tag team wrestling, well, you know, it all goes back to Top Rope in a weird way. You know, we might not get DVDs, but at least it allowed you to develop, you know, pretty good over there.
yeah, absolutely. Oh no, absolutely. Like I can't say like enough good things about Top Rope when it comes to that. Like I said, if it wasn't for there, I would have never been introduced to TK, and then, you know, me and TK would have never had that bond, and then he helped me get into Northeast. So like, you know, everything happens for a reason. So like, Top Rope is absolutely one of like, I'll never forget that. You know.
Yeah. Are you going to be still coming back to do anything soon at Top Rope? I know we got the big, you know, NWO shows coming up.
I will be there. I'll be there for the 15th. For the 14th, Northeast is running up in Fishkill.
Okay.
So I'll be with them during that one, but I will be there for the 15th.
And you guys,
I'm in I think a 4-way tag match.
Okay, all right, it's a big tag match. What's up with the titles right now?
Go.
I haven't been there the last couple shows. The belt, you guys still have the belts, right?
We can't lose those things. We had those things, I think, for friggin' 18 years.
But you know,
my 26th birthday we had those belts for 27 years.
I'm assuming you hold the record. I mean, no doubt of the most. And
so I always get Tunis about this. I own the individual. Like, we're the longest reigning tag champs,
right?
But I'm the longest reigning tag champion because me and TK had like a 60-something day run with them.
Right.
If it wasn't for cage match, I would have no idea this. But Tunis was like, let's look it up. So one day we looked it up, and I was like, haha, dude. I'm like,
wow.
I was the longest rating. I'm like, you're the second longest rating.
Do you remember at all who you beat for the record at all, or no?
I can't remember the team, but I know individually it was Nick Steele. Because there's a little bit where Nick Steele was in between me and Tunis. Right. So I was like, oh, Tunis, you're third, dude. I'm like, you're not even the second longest rating champ.
You're on the bottom.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people would be surprised some of the people that did come out of Top Rope, though. You know, we've had a lot of pretty big superstars come out of there over the years, to be honest. So it's pretty cool, man. You guys brought the belts back because there was a reason to have them show up again. But
you look at the people getting called up and whatnot, you know, even to WWE recently too. So I mean, it's not a stretch at all.
You talked about making people.
Me and Tunis talk about it all the time, man. Like, New England is the best place for independent wrestling, bar none. Like, this is where I think, like, being around a little bit more now, like, this is where I think it's more of a TV style you get taught.
Yeah.
You know, where other places it's styles for that area, where the Northeast is more of a TV ready style. Like, and I include, when I say New England, I also include like New York and all that. Like, it's that style of where it's more that it could be shown to a broader audience, you know?
Right. And which is weird too, because like it produces so many different types, sometimes different styles that come out of these schools too. It's really weird. They really, I don't know, they do a good job with these things. Like even like Flip Gordon, like you're coming up with him and Christian Casanova. Let me put that over. That's September 8th, so that's even before. So you're running September 8th and then the 14th with Northeast then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they run either every weekend or every other weekend.
Oh man,
their summer schedule is insane.
I gotta call them up, dude. I'd love to work over there. You have to hook me up with them. I'll friggin' sweep the floors over there. I love that. That's awesome. I'm bored.
Hey,
yeah, Joe's always looking to make some commentary.
Sweep the floors, the better. No one wants to say no to a guy who wants to sweep the floor.
I ain't sweeping the floor. I'm just kidding.
Did you say you're facing the cleaner? No, I am the cleaner. You know?
Yeah, no.
I am the cleaner.
I'll get there. I'll make the owner sweep. No, I'm just kidding. So recently you saw. Did you ever hook up with our buddy?
Yeah,
Ryan?
he'll give you a judo throw. I don't know if you've seen it. It was Flip versus Jared Silverclite, and he was the special guest referee, Michael Lombardi. And he gave Jared one of the prettiest judo throws I've ever seen in my life. You'll try to hand him a broom, and he'll hand you an ass whooping.
Dude, my favorite thing in the world is to grab the mic and infuriate the crowd and then get thrown into a pole or something. You know, just into like a big steel grate or just whatever. That's like the greatest thing in the world. I'd love to do that. You know what? I mean, I'd love to leave Top Rope and just crap on Brockton and then get beat up and then leave. That'd be my last night.
That's the Jericho way of looking at it. That was my favorite exit in wrestling history.
Oh God, I'd love that. I'd love to do that. Yeah. How was Ryback? Did you meet our buddy Ryback? He's not a fan. At one of those recent outdoor shows.
Oh yeah,
that was a big card.
Ryback is one of my boys, man. I like.
Oh, he hates us. He hates me.
I didn't know this.
Well, actually, wait a minute. I'm sorry.
Are you gonna get me heat with Ryback?
No, I'm just kidding. He's right. He's
Ryback heat, brother.
No, he's over my house. Ryback, come here for a second.
Brad, what are you doing talking to this asshole? Really? Seriously, bro, have you brought my new nutritional DVD?
I'm just kidding. No, Brad. No, yeah.
He's not a fan of the Joe Cronin brand.
I'll tell you.
No, okay, this is honestly, I'm not even joking. This is my favorite thing about him. Him and Wrecking Ball sound exactly the same.
Really?
Like their voices, identical.
Do they sound like liars?
So do all the time, man. Like they'll both be talking at the same time, and it just screws me up so bad in the locker room. I'm like it sounds like an echo. It's the worst. It's an echo, but they're saying different things.
You really shouldn't. Seriously, you shouldn't eat bacon. You shouldn't eat any bacon, Brad.
I can't even do Ryback right now. But no, what happened? You know what happened? Is I tweeted out a long time ago. I made a joke because people wanted me to interview Ryback, and I said, "Well, we'll never get him. He's too much money." And then people kept asking me, and I asked Ryback, and Ryback turned us down, I guess, or something. So I tweeted him like, "Oh, it's going to cost $1 million to get him. Oh, it's going to cost 1,000 gold bars." And eventually I said, it would cost like $2,000 to get Ryback. And I kept tweeting these things on Twitter as a joke. Well, Ryback found out about it, and he like flipped out, and he was like, "This guy's a liar." He lost his mind,
pretty much.
Yeah. So and then at WrestleCon, I walked up to him to apologize to him, and I shook his hand, said who I am, and he went, "Oh," and he got really mad, and then he got angry. If you listen to his podcast, he told the story on there, but I'm the guy he wants to kill.
He tried to get Joe and another former co-host thrown out, and he was not a happy camper.
He wants me murdered.
Yeah.
So if you ever wrestle him,
so silly.
If you ever wrestle him in the ring, you got to just randomly, like when you're going to throw him off the rope, just be like, Joe Cronin, Joe Cronin. Like
that'll set him off.
Yeah, because I want to take that clothesline any harder than it probably is.
But anyway, hey, here's a quick question. What do you think about got a couple more for Brad Hollister, Big Bacon, check him out. What do you think about wrestling versus like indoor Brockton, Western Mass versus these? You've done a lot of outdoor shows at the baseball stadiums and the fields. Like, do you like that better? Is it good to get out, or do you much rather the darker, intimate setting?
Okay, so nothing beats the stadium shows for the sole reason of like the locker room is so spacious,
right?
Because you're in the baseball locker room, so you actually like have your own locker.
Yeah.
So it kind of like it makes me feel like I'm playing sports again. Like sports in high school.
Yeah.
It brings me back. I'm like, oh, okay, this is my locker. Like I'm setting up near my buddies. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I love the stadium shows, and with the stadium shows, the people are so far away. There's legitimately like nothing to be nervous about. You know what I mean? Like I tell guys all the time when they're nervous about like a lot of people, I'm like, dude, they're so far away. I'm like, you could have like a conversation out there, and no one's gonna have.
What are they
nervous?
What would people be? What would they be nervous about with it? Because I'm just saying when I wrestled, I wanted more people and close. I wanted people everywhere so I could feel everything.
See, I mean. Especially a lot of because at Northeast there are a couple guys who are starting out new, or they're just getting their feet wet in wrestling, and
right.
When you go from this is like if it's under your 100th match and now you're wrestling in front of 2,000, 3,000 people at a baseball stadium, like that's a lot to handle right away. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like I like the stadium shows. I think the smaller shows, for me at least, I get way more nervous for the smaller shows.
Right.
I think, because to me, nothing's worse than silence. Nothing's worse than silence. With the baseball stadium shows, you could be out there having the stinkiest match on planet Earth, but there's still a murmur amongst the crowd, even of them talking to each other.
There's so many people that the volume just naturally picks up.
Yeah, there's a little
there's
buzz.
Always something there,
Yeah, I got you there.
But when you're doing the shows like 100-some people, like if it's quiet, it's just, oh my God. Like this, I always say all the time, when you can hear the creak of someone hitting the ropes, or like the creak of the ring walking around, like, oh, it's not going well. Not going well.
Yeah, that's got to be a devastating, revelation.
Yeah, I can see
obviously,
that.
as you know, we're live right now on YouTube, and people do want to get in touch with you. They could reach out to you on Twitter. You're at Big Bacon Brad. But a few people in the chat that most of the chat is loving that you're calling in. They hope you can call in again for the other reviews at some point. That'd be great. Everybody's enjoying the conversation.
Well,
but some
everyone.
people, some people have some questions for you. If you don't mind me asking you a few quickly.
We got more people than an indie show in here.
I'm just kidding. I would love
somebody wanted to know: is it possible we'll see you at All In the over the budget battle royal?
Duh. No, I'm just kidding. I wish.
But you did work with Ring of Honor recently. You can talk about that.
Well, no, so I've been invited to the Flip Gordon party.
Oh, there it is.
If I'm going down to Chicago, I might be there cooking up some bacon. So
hey, there you go.
We'll see.
All right, look for him down there, man.
What were you saying, Joe?
No, I was just I was gonna say, you did do some work recently with Ring of Honor locally, and not jumping the gun or anything like that. Guys like Brian Malonis worked so many years, and they finally, he's in with Ring of Honor now, and Flip Gordon going over there. You're a guy who, I mean, not to say this out loud, but a few months before Flip Gordon got hired by Ring of Honor, I was sending his stuff to friggin' Road Dogg at WWE, like, check this guy out, because they were looking for stuff, and I was sending people around to people, look at this, look at that, and then he got picked up over there. You're a guy I feel like is on the radar. Even Hammer Tunis, I would think the two of you, you know what I mean? A lot of the guys that have gone to Ring of Honor. Is that something that you've had talks with yet, or how did it go when you did work with Ring of Honor recently? I know it was a local gig, but...
Oh, no, we got all positive reviews, and we were told, just keep showing up and, keep doing all the right things, and let's see if something works out. But after the match, man, like, it was all positive reviews. The craziest thing was, at one point, I was sitting in the back, right? And I'm looking around the locker room, and legitimately, it was because Skyler did something for Ring of Honor that night as well. So, and she's another Western Mass local girl.
Yeah.
So I looked around the locker room. It was Skyler, TK, Vinny, Taven, Malonis, Tunis, I think there was like one or two other ones where it was just like, I feel like I'm in a PvP or a Top Rope or an Eddie W locker room. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Like, you guys are all there.
It was just like legitimately like everyone I know. You know what I mean?
Well, I've had people say that to me too, because a lot of my listeners follow what I do with Top Rope, so they're like, Jesus, Joe, all these guys are coming out. I like they found them on Top Rope, through watching my show, or some of the matches I would release that, if Top Rope allowed me to, some of the matches, Steve let me use or whatever. And they're like, I just saw them on your show. 8 months later, they're in Ring of Honor. And so people kind of marking out for that. And, I think that, hey, it's all good because you have these eyes on you right now. I think that it's really good news. Dude, one of the funniest things recently, I told people about this a while back. You're talking about making each other laugh in the ring, you and Hammer Tunis making each other laugh. When you guys get to the side of the ropes, and he's called Sexy Jesus for people that don't know, and when you two were leaning on the ropes, and then he like hung himself, kind of like, which is a little, which might be controversial for some people, but I started, dude, I couldn't even do commentary for a few minutes because I was laughing so hard because it was, he's standing next to you and you got the bacon around you're wrapping the bacon around your head. And then he, or something, and then he kind of like laid himself across the ropes, and then you put the bacon around his head like he was wearing a, I don't know, crown of thorns or something. I was like, oh my God. Like, I think that's hilarious. There's probably a few people that didn't like that, but I thought that was great.
I think you're making it way more controversial than
Am I making it?
You're making it seem like I had him drag across up the hill. Like, you're making it seem like it's something terrible. No.
It's just a simple thing. It was funny.
For our entrance. No, it's not a crucifixion related pose. Okay, this is what he does. He puts his arms, he drapes his arms across the top rope and then crosses his feet, and then he just kind of dangles over the apron.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you could see that being a crucifixion like pose. And then I lean over him and flex my traps.
Yeah, so, you put a bacon scarf on his head to keep him warm.
I'm not saying I'm a cross or anything.
Yeah.
But
Dude, it was great though. You guys would spray each other with the bottle. You got kids in the crowd cheering for you. I mean, it's wild. The bacon thing is really the bacon scarf.
So one time we're doing one at the PAL, and the PAL with for concessions they get Domino's to come all the time.
Yeah.
And we showed up really late one time, and like Tunis is always late. I'm never late, and the best part is he knows this. Like we joke around all the time. We call it Tunis time, and we're super
He's on
late
his
to
own
the
clock.
show. Oh, 100%. We're super late to the show, and actually I think it was my fault. And we're starving, right? And we couldn't stop for food on the way because like show's already started.
Good thing
so we
they got
get
some
in there, and thank God. And we get to the show, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna call in Domino's. I was like, odds are no one's gonna notice because like I don't think it would be frowned upon if you ordered your own food in the locker room, but I think it's kind of douchey at the same time. So I was like, listen, like we're gonna order some Domino's. No one would know because we're coming in and out all night, right? I was like, let's just hope they don't come during our match.
No.
So we're up. Yeah, no, it gets better. So we're up right at the exit, and we're about to go out, and my phone, the app says it's on its way. So I was like, oh no, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Right before we go out, Domino's pulls up. So like I tip the guy real quick. I get the food, and I look at him and I go, dude, I'm eating my chicken parm on the way to the ring. And he was like, dude, don't do it. And I'm like, I'm starving. I said, you're not going to eat your food? He goes, no, I'm going to save it for after the match. I'm like, I can't eat on that. I can't wrestle on an empty stomach. I got to go. Right? So our music's playing, and I'm just walking out eating the chicken parm, and I'm like the happiest human being on planet Earth. And before we go out, he goes, just don't give me a bite. I can't wrestle if I have food in my stomach. Right?
Oh.
So we go to do that pose, and as I'm leaning over him, I just shove the biggest bite of chicken parm sandwich into his mouth.
Oh my God!
And then he goes, well, I said, well, why did you bite it? And he goes, well, I couldn't not take a bite. We wouldn't look like a team. And for me, like that's like, I'm like, you are such a pro wrestler, dude. I'm like, I love you so much. Oh, I couldn't take a bite. We wouldn't look like a team.
Oh my God, dude! You guys have great chemistry, and I remember thinking when TK left the group, I was like, oh man, this is weird or whatever, TK was so good and everything, but man, Hammer Tunis came right in, and you guys really went to another level, so it's really cool to watch you.
So me and Tunis, we wanted to team for a while at PvP, right? But we did a whole thing where we're against each other, we're on opposite sides of the fence. Mm-hmm. So, but like long-term plan was him and I joining together. And we did the Team Waters thing at Top Rope. So we're like, oh, perfect. This is a place you could try teaming out for the first time.
Right.
And when we had TK in the group, we were just like, oh, my God, like this kid needs to be brought into PvP and like he needs to be part of the group. So it was me and him first. It was me and TK down at Top Rope and PvP. And then Tunis, once he turned and joined us at PvP, and TK left Top Rope, it was such an easy transition. Because I'm like, all right, we're a 3-man group in like 6 other, or not 6, but like 4 other promotions.
Yep.
Like, we could just use 2 of us here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought it worked out pretty good that like if somebody couldn't show up or if TK was booked or somebody was booked somewhere else, it's perfect because there's 3 of you. So it's kind of like wherever you go, it's the Freebird rule everywhere.
We did that so much. We were the ultimate Freebird rule.
I was going to say, yeah, you could use the Freebird rule at every point in time.
Well, I got a couple quick ones.
We used it for the heavyweight title. We used it for the tag belts. Probably used it for the women's belt somehow.
We got a few more for you. I mean, I'll give Jake one more. I got a couple real quick. But also really quick, going back to Jack Swagger when you wrestled him, did he give you any kind of insight or any, like, was he interesting at all with any of his commentary about, being in the wrestling business? He was in WWE for a long time.
Oh, Jack, I say it all the time. Jack Swagger, of like all like the WWE guys who come around, like by far the most of like the boys. You know what I mean? Like funny, he jokes around with everyone. He like, when I said like we had all these lockers, like a lot of times like some of the names will kind of sit off to the side and do their own thing. He just puts his stuff like right in between everyone. Such a cool dude, man. Like it's so much more relaxing to like know that that's who you're going to be wrestling. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Sometimes when you're wrestling a big name, you're nervous and everything. Like, nah, man, he just comes in and the nerves go right away because he's just so cool, you know?
Hey, you were there the night that, not to go into a darker place, but were you there the night that Justin Incredible kind of freaked out at that show?
Darker, dude. That was awesome.
I thought it was pretty wild.
Okay, so I think I've shared this story before.
Probably.
But I haven't shared it on this show, so
and this is a one. I bet you this is a bigger show, too. So take that.
We're going to call it an exclusive anyways.
Yeah.
Way bigger. A trillion times bigger, Joe Cronin.
Hell yeah. Hey, I got over somehow eventually.
So we're doing Blitzkrieg, right? And we had like a series of tag matches. It was triple threat tag matches.
Right.
And everyone, we had 3 of them. And so far, every team got a win. The GM was going to come out and announce that it was going to be a ladder match at their big show, right? For the first ever tag belts. And Just Incredible showed up to the show, and, you know, he was intoxicated. He's admitted to the sense.
Right.
And he he said he wanted to do a promo earlier, right? And the powers at hand were like, no, we don't want you to do a promo. Just do your meet and greet. Just, you know, hang out. And after our match, like, the GM was supposed to do a promo. So right after our match, Just Incredible hits the ring with a cane, right?
Yeah. So
he's demanding a mic. No, but he's demanding a mic. So, like, a lot of people are like, oh, this is a crazy situation.
Right.
In my head,
go with it.
I'm like, no. In my head, I'm like, they agreed for him to do a promo, but they gave him this promo. Because it makes sense for the ECW guy to come out and be like, oh, triple threat ladder match.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, in my head, I'm like, oh, he's just doing the promo now. And he goes, give me a mic. And Tunis walks over to the GM, who now I see out there. I didn't see him come out. I see him out there with a mic in hand. So I go, oh, he was supposed to do the promo. Like, the GM was. And Tunis asked him if it's a shoot. So the guy said, yeah. And Tunis grabs the mic and he goes, you want the microphone? And I put my hand over it and I said, Tunis, you stop right there.
Oh.
I said, dude, like, you do not get a promo off with an intoxicated Just Incredible right now. Not a good look.
Right.
Not a good look. Probably be funny to watch.
Right.
Probably be funny to watch, but overall, not a good look. So, you know, he doesn't want to leave the ring, and people, like, want us to go in there and get him out. And I'm like, again, it's a lose-lose situation. Like, dude, the guy's suffering right now. Like, legitimately, like, he asked for help. Like, you know when people say, oh, it's a cry for help? He literally said, like, this is a cry for help.
Right.
So I'm like, dude, if we, like, legit, they wanted us, like, because me and Tunis are 2 amateur guys, so they wanted us to go in there and, like, drag him out. And I literally said, I'm like, dude, I am not going in there dragging out a guy who used to have alcohol problems who's going through a relapse right now. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you got to get the officials, like anybody else, if they were going to drag him
No,
out.
like, let's just let the situation
it?
calm down. And, like, everyone's on the outside of the ring just, like, screaming at him, calling him a piece of garbage. And he's already in, like, a fucked up state as it is. So, like, that's why he wasn't leaving the ring. So once he actually left the ring, me and Tunis got in there to make sure, you know, he didn't come back in.
Why not?
And to save the moment, we started spanking the ring announcer. Because
we're
like, how do we make the people forget about this?
Yeah, how do we move on from that? I mean, I was jealous because I was like, man, they never spanked me when I was a ring announcer. I wanted to be spanked. But, you know, why not?
Listen, if Just Incredible does a shoot run-in, you're getting spanked, brother.
We might get him. He did an hour interview with me recently, and he was pretty cool. He's been really cool, and I've been trying to tell him, like, hey,
dude, like, when I first started, I did, like, an 8-hour road trip to Maine with Just Incredible, and, like, dude, the stories he told and, like, the amount I learned from the guy was incredible. So, like, I was excited to see him again, and then when I seen him like that, I was like, oh, no, dude, like, it broke my heart, you know?
Why not?
But I hear everything's going well with him now, so hopefully it keeps going that way.
I don't know if he's still in jail, but I don't know if he knew, but I know he went to jail a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he did get arrested.
Oh, dude, I'm out of the loop then.
Oh, yeah, he might
so
be
things are not going well, so I hope they go better.
If we can get $7,000, we can get him out. But so we hope everything works out, though, seriously, for Justin. But why not just play his music? Why not play his music and jump in the ring and raise his hand? Like, wait till he says something good and then play music, get in there and raise his hand up or something. Maybe then he'd be like, yeah, and then he'd walk out. Instead of, like you said, everyone was yelling at him, and it kind of got embarrassing instead. I don't know. That's just, I mean, it's easy to say from here, but.
I mean, exactly. It's one of those things like a lot of people said how like poorly it was handled by all parties, you know. And when you're in those situations, and it's not like we're in those situations every day, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, this is how I'm going to handle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On hindsight,
it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Who was the ring announcer ended up getting a lot of heat, Matt James, because he was like plugging the show and everything the whole time because he knew the video was going to go online. But if anyone actually knows Matt James, the dude used to be a stand-up comedian, and he's legitimately like one of the funniest people I ever met in my life. So he's legitimately doing it like as a joke to be a jerk.
Right.
And I think people just thought like, oh, this guy's a dickhead.
Yeah, but like I got you. Hey,
like he was doing a shtick. Like he wasn't doing like. He wasn't really like. That's not how he really felt about that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, right. He was kind of trolling people for the joke. I get you there. That's funny. I didn't know that.
Exactly.
I had no idea. I didn't even know that either. Unfortunately, it comes.
Oh, dude! Like the whole every comment on the video is legitimately either like, "Oh, Just Incredible is the worst," or it's like, "Oh, this is so sad," or it's the ring announcer's a dick. Like there's only 3 kinds of comments, and those are it.
Hey, he got himself involved. I guess that's not bad. At least, I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. It's like the last time I saw it was kind of like the Scott Hall thing at Top Rope. It was not as viral as bad as that, but it was like, you know, that's the last time I remember seeing something.
Very similar.
And there was Scott Hall. There was Jake Roberts before that, I think, or after that, and then there was that was the new one at the time. But real quick, before Jake maybe has one more question for you, but I got one more thing too. Quick thing, you do this sometimes you get thrown into that second rope, man, and I've seen your head snap back. You take a hell of a shot on that second rope sometimes. Where did that come from?
So I'm with my trainer, and my trainer Antonio Thomas, such a brilliant wrestler in mind, right? But he would have like, and not weird, like they weren't drills. I'm not gonna call them drills, but he would just be like, today I want you to think of a way to do this, right? And it wouldn't be like, all right, let's practice it. It would be like, all right, we're going to do everything else now, but just throughout practice, just think of a way. So one day he was just like, I want you guys to think of a way to cut yourself off, right? So like practice is kind of winding down, so I'm like walking around the ring, and I'm just looking, and I'm like, I've seen like the stun gun. I'm like, well, if someone does like a stun gun off the middle rope.
Yeah.
But I wasn't getting like a good bump when I would bounce back. So I was like, what if I like slide into it? And then from there I just started thinking of ways of like how I could get into it, how I could take it, and just ways to cut off myself. So if like either, and now it's such a good looking bump, I could use it in a big match. But at first I legitimately was thinking about it as like, if I'm in there with someone new, or if I'm in there with someone who I don't fully trust to like cut me off with something big, I'm like, this is a way I could cut myself off. But now the bump is devastating looking. So,
oh, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm saving that for big matches.
If nobody, it's phenomenal. It really does look really good. Like there's like the Triple H over the top rope. Cian Almas tonight on SmackDown. Anybody that remembers, if you watched SmackDown earlier, anybody else, Cian Almas did one of the like over the top rope. Got thrown into the turnbuckle, but he went over the top instead and then smacked his head off the apron on the way down. Stuff like that is like, whoa, like, because you can't believe that, you're seeing that. You're expecting, oh, he's going into the corner. Oh, no, he's going over the top. Even Triple H, he does that over. Ryan Waters does a really good one, too.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty.
But and that's honestly, like, I mean, people are going to think I'm blowing you tonight. But, yeah, that's one of those things. That's one of those moments that, like, you don't see a lot of people able to do something like that, and it looks fucking awesome. But anyway, we got to move on. Jake, is there one more thing you wanted to ask Brad? It's happy birthday to Brad, by the way. It's his birthday today. It's a pretty good day.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Happy birthday again. 2 quick questions is, where can we find your merchandise? People have asked in the chat.
I have a free webstore.org. I'm trying to get a pro wrestling tees. So follow me on Twitter, because that is apparently a big part of having a pro wrestling tee store. So
what? I have a pro wrestling
I'm trying to get one of those,
store.
But there is freewebstore.org. I think if you go to my Twitter, there's a link there. Or you could just straight up send me a Facebook message or a DM on Twitter, and I'll give you my PayPal, and I'll ship out a shirt. But I have tons of different designs. I'll show them all, but
Hey, you don't?
Yeah, man.
You don't,
I have like 7 different T-shirts designs right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, some people were talking about it in the chat, and they really
socks.
like the merchandise.
And
so
some bacon socks.
That's great,
dude. I swear to God, we'll get your shirts up somewhere like right away. Like, do you have the access to the logos or the designs?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
you can make this a reality.
We gotta get you on Teespring. You do well on Teespring.
Actually, you know who helped me out with the designs? One of the DSP. The Drunk Street Posse from the Top Rope shows.
Those guys, those guys are awesome.
He's a great designer, and I asked him because he works for Dunkin' Donuts, so like a big time like design guy for them. So I was like, I didn't think he would in a million years be like, yeah, I'll do a design. So I asked him, and he was just like, he was so pumped about it, and like I asked him for something really vaguely, and he sent me back exactly what I wanted. So from then on, I was like, all right, this is my guy.
Oh wow, that's perfect.
Hey,
it's nice when those type of things just work out.
Dude, people want bacon scarves.
So perfect.
What about bacon
people
scarves?
are all about bacon scarves, and a lot of people chimed up when you mentioned the socks.
I sold the original bacon scarf.
What?
The original bacon.
How could you do that?
So I
would have bought it.
The bacon scarf worked. The bacon scarf worked when I was a heel because I would use it in various different tactics.
Right.
And
it was quite the weapon.
Lately, everyone wants a little babyface bacon lately. I don't know what's going on there. But,
dude, oh my God,
you're just too likable. That's what it is.
Oh my God, bacon! I just thought of this.
The grandma scarf works with like a badass fucking. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't go with what I'm trying to portray now. But I think selling them is definitely a move. I think I do want to get some to definitely put at my merch table.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
Sure. Use them as rally towels.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There you go. I was gonna say that.
The bacon towels are coming out now for Brett Hollister. The terrible bacon towels. Something like that, you know? The bacon bits.
It got to be alliteration, so we got to be like, the bacon bunettes.
Yeah, the crowd wants to sizzle, you know?
Oh, dude, you know what? When you come out with me, funny, I just found this company.
The scarves are sizzling. Sizzling scarves. That's what it is.
There you go, sizzling
The sizzling scarves. Dude, there's a company that makes those little plastic bacons, like they're only 2 inches big, like long, and they're bacon.
Yeah, squishies.
If we bought like 100 of those, and before you came out on the ramp, if you bent down and then your hands in a fist touch each other, and you reach up into the sky and throw them out everywhere like it's raining bacon, oh my God, I'm in.
LeBron James it.
LeBron James the bacon, exactly.
Don't talk to me like I don't watch sports. That's all I fucking do.
Well, you probably
bacon
actually watch.
Money, baby.
Probably watch that more than me.
You put up in your hands and you throw it to the sky. No, just LeBron James with the back.
Well, the audiences, they don't know, right? You guys don't want. Nobody else has ever heard of LeBron James. So.
Oh come on, dude! LeBron James does that in commercials.
In Boston, we don't know.
One of the most famous human beings on the planet.
I don't know who he is.
Who?
No, I'm just kidding.
Who?
I don't know, man.
Who's your favet right now in WWE? I mean, this is a WWE focused channel mostly. So, who's your favorite in WWE currently?
Oh, dude, actually, no. I don't even know why I'm thinking about this. Braun Strowman. Not even
Braun Strowman.
What do you?
I've always been a Brock. Okay, so I've always been a Brock guy, right? Because that's just who I grew up loving. I was an amateur wrestler. He was amateur. I was like, that's my guy. So, and I say it all the time. Even now, I'm 26 years old today. When Brock Lesnar's music hits, I feel like a little kid again. You know what I mean?
It brings you
like
back.
No matter how many bumps I take, like I'll watch wrestling so cynically now. And Brock Lesnar comes out, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Brock Lesnar. Like, I'll like shake my girlfriend and be like, babe, look at here comes Brock Lesnar. And I think Braun Strowman is the first guy who's done that with, like, to me, since Brock Lesnar, since I was actually a little kid, and I had that emotion about them from then. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the emotion from like if The Rock comes out, I feel like that. You know what I mean? Braun's the first guy where at when he come out 20, like when he really started blowing up, like last year before, it's like 24, 25. He would come like, Braun. I'm like, babe, here comes Braun. He's gonna flip something. It's gonna be badass. You know what I mean? Like,
I remember.
I love characters, man. Like, I focus so much on being a great wrestler. I do. Like, I think that is the crux of pro wrestling is going in there and being able to have the best match. But if you do not have a character to back it up, you have a certain ceiling. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And that's one of the things they're missing nowadays. You know, you have people like Roman Reigns, even Seth Rollins to a certain extent. You know, who are they? They're just a bunch of catchphrases. You got Burn It Down, you got the Big Dog, but they don't really have characters to them.
I cannot agree with you more.
Yeah, he at least has that character.
my analogy all the time is, what are they doing outside of wrestling? Like,
yes,
back in the day, right? And this makes me back in the day, back in the heyday, brother. But like,
in my time,
what was Stone Cold doing outside of wrestling?
What
was he doing when he was at home?
What was he doing?
Like,
I mean, he was drinking beer.
From a fan's perspective.
Yeah,
he was drinking
a beer,
like,
yeah.
He was hunting. Like, they showed up that, like, that's what he did. You know what I mean? Like, you knew who the person was. To me, like, so many of the guys are like wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like, their character is they love wrestling.
Yeah,
I think that's a great character to have if there's one or two of them.
Right.
You know, what is AJ doing when he's not wrestling? Oh, he's a father. He's, but it doesn't really, same thing. What is Roman doing? He turns it off.
Yeah. I want to be. Yeah, exactly. That's, to me, like, that's the big guy, the big guy that everyone's hates right now. And I personally love his work. I think Roman Reigns is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. Like, people say, oh, he only has like a handful of moves. Ridiculous. Like, that guy puts, like, he could work with anybody. Like his shit with Braun was great. Like, that's when Braun really started getting over, when he was split with Roman. His shit with Styles was great. His shit with Bryan was great. Like,
why I think
he has not been given anything in the ring that he hasn't hit out of the park.
Well,
his other stuff, like, yeah, I get the criticism, but in the ring, oh my god.
Well, see, I think in the ring he's fun. There's nothing wrong with Roman in the ring. I think the issue people have really is the way they book him. For instance, they just turned. I think people people like us really want Roman to be heel. Like, we really want to hate him and be okay. It's this.
We want to boo him because we want to boo him.
It's the booking that I don't like. Like, they turn Brock heel again. It's like I think that's what people are sick of. But as far as Roman's moveset and everything and what he's been doing, him and AJ had a couple great matches.
Oh, dude, I can't remember the last time I watched one of his matches and was like, oh, that wasn't good. You know what I mean? Like, dude usually tears it up, man. Like, you can't take that away from him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he does all right. I mean, I'm honestly, I grew up with, like, Shawn Michaels was my guy when I was a little kid. Hogan too, but I mean, Shawn Michaels. I prefer, like, I even like your style. You tell me Brock Lesnar and Braun, but I think how you wrestle is more exciting to me than some of those guys. But that's just me.
No, thank you. But no, but like, again, you mentioned Hulk Hogan and you mentioned Shawn Michaels. What were they doing when they weren't wrestling? You know what I mean? Like, Shawn Michaels probably picking up chicks. Hulk Hogan eating his vitamins, saying his prayers, lifting weights. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I just don't think they need to have more of a, like, where you could invest in the person.
Yes, that's who they were. It doesn't ever shut off. That was them entirely. What you saw was them 24/7. Macho Man. Oh yeah, that was a constant, way of life for him.
And even if they have a character, you got to believe, like, that's who they are at all times. Like, Velveteen Dream is amazing.
Yes.
Because, like, like, I could tell you what Velveteen Dream's doing. Like, he's probably right now, like, drinking a mimosa poolside. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
it's easy to say what he's doing. I can't say that for everybody. Where it's like, oh, what is he doing when he's home? Like,
yeah, you don't know. It's like it's one of those things where it's like, why can't we get a little bit more? I think if we got a little bit more character with everything, it would go a long way. And I forgot what I was going to say, but I had something on my mind and it left me there. But man, let's get out of here. We're gonna let Brad go celebrate his birthday. Big Bacon, check him out on Facebook. He's got his own Facebook page. I linked that in the chat a few minutes ago. I'll link it again.
Yeah, he's on Twitter at Big Bacon Brad. So make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow there as well.
Big Bacon.
Go tell him happy birthday from the Joe Cronin Show fans.
Yeah, send him a happy birthday and that you heard him here, and have a lot of fun. And we'll see you coming
Show him
up.
how much the JCS Army matters.
Does this is this your next match? The Flip Gordon Christian Casanova match?
No, I have a fatal 4-way for PvP the night before, which this is actually cool. It's 2 tag teams, but we're in a fatal 4-way match. It's me, Tunis, Dexter Lou, and Mike Gamble, American Sumo.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, I think that's a cool dynamic where it's a tag match. It's 2 tag teams, but it's a fatal 4-way.
That's I'd love to get out to that. That's my biggest night is a Friday night. Like, that's when I do my main show. That's like our moneymaker. So, like, a lot of times,
you would honestly, you would love that one. It's at a bar and it's 21 plus. It feels like Brockton, but it's 21 plus.
Maybe I'll get out. So, maybe we'll see.
Bacon says F-bombs. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, nice. Well, I'll come in the
last time we were there, we entered. We sang Total Eclipse of the Heart with the Dan Band version.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I love that version. That dude, that movie was great. I almost related. Damn it! There was almost a comparison to that movie earlier in the conversation. I forget what it was about. But anything? One last thing before you go. Brad Hollister's got to go. Big Bacon, Brad Hollister, the closers, Hammer Tunis. He's also working singly in singles all over the place. All in weekend. We know you're pretty much probably going to be there regardless of what happens. So have a good week. Are you excited about what's going to happen this weekend?
Oh, of course, man. Like I said, I'm not saying I am going to go there, but I was Flip. I was joking with Flip. I said, dude, how are you not inviting me to your party? And Flip is such a good dude. He's just like, bro, what do you mean? Come down. So if I do end up going out to Chicago, it would probably just be hanging out in a parking lot with Flip Gordon. Both not booked.
Well, I was supposed to go there, have a table, do all that stuff, but I kind of bailed at the last minute, but I thought about who I could go. So, hey, maybe, dude, me and Bacon, just out of nowhere, take a flight to Chicago.
Out of nowhere. You know what? Let's just do a run and make a name for ourselves, brother.
Well, yeah, let's do it. I owe Flip Gordon a beating anyway because his uncle's the one who gave me my concussion a while back, so I'm going after.
Well, I'll make sure I give him one September 8th for you.
September 8th. It's going to be Christian Casanova, Flip Gordon, Brad Hollister in Connecticut. It's going to be good.
Flip Gordon's last Northeast wrestling match.
Oh, is he going exclusive too to Ring of Honor?
My man is exclusive now.
Wow.
And I'm very it was really cool off Flip. Him and Casanova came up together and they're boys, so I could see him just wanting that match with him. But he was like, absolutely not. He goes, dude, I want you in that match. We had our first series of matches together in Northeast, so dude, to me, such so much respect for him for that. He goes, no, man, I want my last match to be with you and Casanova. So I was like, dude, you're the fucking man.
That's awesome, man. I really, I might even get out to. That's going to be awesome. Check it out if you're in Connecticut.
Oh, dude, we're going to tear it up. It's legitimately going to be the best match in Northeast wrestling history. I'm putting that much pressure on it.
What's this? What's this arena look like? Or what's this bar? Where is it going to be?
So, the Waterfront, that's the 7th. That's the bar in Holyoke, Mass.
But the 8th
it's actually a lot of hardcore music, I guess. It's very popular for that scene. I'm not a big music guy, so I wouldn't know too much about that. But
well, all right, man. We'll catch you there. I really thank you for coming on tonight. This was a lot of fun. People look like they liked it in the chat, and now people can check you guys out, and now they know who Big Bacon is. And we'll see you coming up here in the future, and I'll see you soon probably too.
Yeah, let me know anytime, man. It was a fun conversation.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, man. Happy birthday, and we'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you soon on Facebook.
Yeah, have a great birthday.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right,
Thank
later.
you so much.
Big Bacon Brad Hollister. He's going to go eat a big bacon sandwich and then bang your mom. No, I'm just kidding. Brad Hollister, what a great interview. What a great guy. He's always one of my favorites. That's why I'm sucking him off, him and Hammer Tunis. I just really like those guys. Flip's always been nice, too, so it's cool to see him going exclusive to Ring of Honor. And Christian Casanova is a great guy, too. I've gotten to call so many Flip Gordon, Christian Casanova, and Brad Hollister matches. I love all three of these guys. So this is going to be a really fun night. I'm not calling that match. I wish I was. But that's going to be fun, so I might go out to get it anyway. So anyway,
I really like to see his match the 9th because North Haven Fair is 8 minutes from my house. So
I apologize. We had a lot of donations going on. I'm going to play them right now. There's so many people that... Well, there's a bomb coming up.
There's a lot of them.
Jeff Hardy is going to die in the cell. Jeff, do you think he will do bump from top of cell?
Oh, my God. Peyton Royce, pussy. Thank you, Peyton Royce, for the $5. Yeah, I think... I think he might do something a little wild. I don't think he'll go that crazy, I hope. I don't think we need to see that. But it'd be nice if there was ladders under the ring and stuff, and they could set them up, and he could go flying in a back body drop into the ladder. Maybe an RKO off the side apron through a ladder table. Do a bunch of that type of stuff would be nice.
Super Chat Party.
Peyton,
Joe,
thank
please
you.
react to Vampiro farting on air.
I have seen the clip, but I haven't heard it with headphones on, so we'll have to do that.
Yeah, it's so loud.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were talking about it last night, and during the PUBG, it's so loud, it's great.
Well, I'll have to go listen to it in a minute, because I heard it was... I heard it on my phone, but imagine it with headphones on. Generated, thanks for the $2, man.
Yeah, you should come down, and we'll go see him on the 9th on that Sunday. It's 4:30 in New Haven.
Wait,
North Haven,
it's a Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday is the 9th for the North Haven Fair. It's $10 to get in.
Wow.
Joe ratings are out for Raw last night. OMG record lows. Monday's Raw drew an average of 2,877,000 viewers.
Nice.
Last week's post-SummerSlam 3,095,000 viewers. 2017 show drew 3,304,000 viewers.
Well, there you go. Haskell 420. Thank you, Haskell, for the $5. Yeah, dude, I mean, the numbers are down. The numbers are going down. Those numbers line up with what I said about 200 to 250,000 people you'll lose a year. And right there, that shows you that it were
Fuck yeah, I got everyone's addresses, Mon! I got everyone's fucking addresses, Mon!
Look for a video called Everything Wrong with Triple Mania. It's awesome.
Yeah. I
Shows
saw
the cluster F it was and Vampiro losing his shit, haha.
Yeah.
Mav IMG, thanks for the $5. Yeah, I saw so many botches, dude. Triple Mania was a firestorm of shit, or a friggin', I don't know, what, dumpster fire, dude. Triple Mania was a mess.
Yeah,
it was just
Botchamania's Matthew went ahead and posted that video on his Twitter timeline. So,
oh my God, it was just people diving all over the place for nothing,
hitting people in the audience, and it was just nuts.
Triple Mania was a mess, dude. I seen it last time, wasn't it? When Sexy Star went nuts last year.
I think so. Yeah, last year.
I'm enjoying this AJ versus Joe feud, but I have to think that Samoa Joe B should be champ for the incredible job he has done to bring real life into the storyline.
Yeah, I like it. Kalel Bama, what's up, Kalel Bama? He should be champ for the incredible job he has done for bringing the real life storyline. Alabama, I think it has been pretty good. I think it could get a little better, but it's definitely the best thing going on as far as stories go on SmackDown and probably Raw too, if I'm not mistaken. So that is very good. If only they could have some more stories like this.
Why don't they ever let Joe say the A or B word?
I don't think he needs to, because he's been so good, he hasn't even needed to do that. That's how good he is. You know, other people need to say bitch or something, and oh my God!
Oh my God!
There's something going on up in this place.
Oh my God!
There's something weird kinda happening, strange kinda happening, things are kinda happening. What the fuck is happening? Aliens, extraterrestrials, they gave me a shot. Nanotechnology. I'm not me. You're not you. I'm fucking crazy. Split personality. Scott McKinnon.
Hey Joe, I have not donated in a few, but just wanted to say this interview is fire. Shout out to Jake and Ray Rock and my Twitter family. Love you all. FK me in the pee hole. I just love this donation.
Jim K's. Yeah. Hey Jim, it's really good to hear from you, man. Thank you so much for $51. I'm sure Brad, Big Bacon, Brad Hollister is watching that. He's like, whoa, damn, I could buy like 17 sandwiches with $51. King Khan, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thank you, Jim Case, very much, dude. $51. That was a huge donation and made us go positive for the night because of that. Thank you very much for the big one.
Absolutely.
And
thank you very
shit
much.
Bum.
Love you, man.
I nailed my Raw ratings prediction. Prediction hour 1:08 p.m. High dropping to average. Actual 3,076,000. Hour 2 prediction. Average. Actual 2,927,000. Perfect.
Wow.
Third hour. Prediction. Actual rating. 2,630,000. Vince sucks. Rant time.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of predict it, Haskell. I mean, like, I've been predicting it for years, and nobody believes me, or they say it doesn't matter. See, whenever I tell somebody, and thank you, Haskell, for the donation, whenever I tell somebody they're losing this many viewers, they're like, no. And I'm like, well, next year they're going to have this many. And then they do. And then eventually they go, okay, well, you know, cable doesn't matter the way it used to matter. And it's like, okay, well, the seats aren't selling the way they used to. Because more people watching means more people buying seats, means more people buying in general. So eventually, you know, you can create all the revenue streams you want. creating different shows in different countries and specials and selling more merch to different companies online and having different, stuff on the network or NBC deals and TV deals. But eventually when nobody's in your crowd or you're giving away tickets to people, that's going to become a problem. And when the crowd starts booing or is silent, that's when you're going to feel it. And based on the number trajectory they're on, they're going to feel that harshly in the next 3 years. Probably, if this keeps going this way, in 3 years, unless there's a new Hulk Hogan or something crazy doesn't change, in 3 years, you're going to be looking at some empty seats on camera. And that's not good. I don't care how much money you're making revenue, because they always say, oh, it's different because TV ratings don't matter like they used to. And then they say, oh, well, yeah, okay, yeah, they got 2.8 million people watching on TV, but the YouTube video did 2.4 million. So, that's YouTube.
So what?
The same people who watch the show or from another country tuned into YouTube. They don't add together. So then people are just going in their minds and they're going, oh, because the YouTube video did 2.4 million views, then add the Smackdown 2.8, now you get 4 or 5 million. Oh, no, that's not how it works, dumbass. You're stupid. And here's the other thing. The YouTube ratings are down, you dipshit. Videos that were put out 3 years ago by WWE were getting 1 million to 2 million to 3 million more views than these ones are. So the YouTube views are way down as well. So you're out of your... These people are... It's weird. It's like, do you think that I'm trying to hate on the product on purpose because I like to? It's like, no, I'm using my brain and looking at the numbers. These are the facts. If you don't like them, that's not my fault. That's the facts. But these people keep finding weird scapegoat things. It would be like if the new movie came out, a new Star Wars movie came out, and because of all the bad stuff that's been going on with Star Wars, the new movie comes out and they didn't make even near the money they used to make. Like even with Han Solo, right? Look at Han Solo, that didn't do as well, and that didn't do so well.
That lost. I didn't realize how much money that lost. I think I said 200 million or something along the lines of that.
And the Star Wars apologists will say, well, it was nobody wants another the SJW say nobody wants a white male story, and then other people will say oh, nobody wants a prequel with this. When the other one comes out, it's like, no, you're already starting to see the effect of what's going on. So you're seeing what's going on at this time, and you're gonna see it. So it's like making all these excuses for a franchise. Why? Don't make excuses. Just look at the numbers the way they are. The pre-orders are down for Battlefield because of all kinds of different reasons.
Because the marketing manager told people that if they don't like it, they could, not buy the game.
Don't buy it. Yeah. Don't like it,
genius
don't buy it.
Marketing move there.
The Ghostbusters, don't like it, don't watch it. You're a sexist. Okay. Didn't watch it. Your movie flopped, you dumb shit. Fucking, what's the other movie that did that? I can't even think of it. There was another one that they basically crapped on the fans, oh, don't watch it then. Well, that didn't work out for them either. Battlefield, you don't like it? Oh, don't buy it. Oh, well, guess what? People didn't buy it, so your numbers are down. WWE, don't like it? Stop watching. They are. 250,000 a year are stopping watching by my count, and 1 million less a year are watching. Or on YouTube, it's like 500,000 people less a year. Okay, the numbers are dropping. So those are the facts. Go look up the numbers. If you don't believe it, go look up the numbers on YouTube. The stocks are higher than ever. WWE stock, higher than ever. $85, $86 a share. I bought it at $9. $80-something a year, a share.
Almost $90 now.
That doesn't mean that the product is good. EA Sports, Madden, EA Sports in general, through the roof, money-wise. They're killing it. Are they really doing anything but releasing the same game every year? So when you complain about it and you say, man, I wish they would fix this a little bit, all they care about is microtransactions and fucking us in the ass. Well, is someone going to say, yeah, well, they're making more money than they ever made? No.
People do.
They do, but you're stupid. It's like...
That's how they justify it.
That's a different argument. If you want to talk about how well the business model is running, hey, you're making more money than ever. Sounds good to me until people stop buying the game. I guess whatever. But are sales down yearly? I don't know. I bet you the sales are down. They've got to be, but they're creating new revenue streams. Oh, now we're going to have more card packs every week. We're going to up the card packs by $1. So, you know what I mean?
For the Ultimate Team, that's all it comes down to.
Right. It's the same strategy as WWE. Who gives a fuck what content we put out there? Because we're still going to find another revenue stream to get people. Oh, you know, we just realized we're losing $5,000 to $10,000 a show compared to 3 months ago. We're behind by $6,000 every house show. Well, let's create a VIP experience that's a little bit different at a higher tier where they can hang out with the superstar, get something signed by the superstar for a higher tier. And then they create that, and like 80 people get to do that where they didn't have that before, and they charge $200 for it or $500 or whatever it is. They make up the money. And they might make more because they're smart with their revenue streams. But the product we're seeing on TV has not made most fans, feel very good about the product. Even Big Bacon was just on. He was saying he enjoyed Roman Reigns. I'm going to bet that Big Bacon, he doesn't have the time to invest into watching this that everybody else does. He's wrestling.
Yeah, he's not watching week to week. He's just seeing matches here and there, like YouTube stuff. Like, oh, that was a decent match.
Yeah, and like people like that, like they watch like, oh, pretty good. I don't understand what the problem is really. Well, when you watch every week everything, you are just dead to the world. When you play Madden every year and you can't wait and you play it and it's like the same thing, you just go, oh, like it's the same damn thing again. But whatever, that's my comparison. That's how I see it. So business-wise, WWE, fucking amazing, phenomenal. Give those people awards. But
they're on fire. But
what you're seeing on television is making people turn away, and that is just
garbage
a fact.
Fire. So
hit that sub button down below, guys. We'll be live tomorrow for Out of Nowhere. We're live almost every day. I have videos usually coming out every day. I gotta put it over on my Patreon, guys. If you like what I do here, aside from all the awesome people who donated tonight, support my show with $1, $2, $3, $4, or $5. Join the JCS Army. Join the family. Join us on Patreon. And you'll get 30 hours of bonus content a month, bonus podcasts a month, including our little interview there with Big Bacon Brad Hollister in audio form. It will go up later, plus a bunch of other stuff that you can't hear on YouTube. We have the Jake and Joe podcast. Episode 2 is up on Patreon right now. It's really good from the other day. You got the Corrupted podcast on the weekend. Download all 60-something episodes of that. I mean, we're talking about over 200 episodes of audio on Patreon right now. If you haven't been a patron yet, all that is accessible to you. Then we got the Morning Madness, which I covered by the Flip Gordon Brad Hollister match coming up on September 8th in Connecticut. Go check that out. Morning Madness, my podcast I put up the other day as well. So there's 2 from the other day, and I'll have more for you tomorrow again on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. I hope you guys can become patrons and keep my show alive, keep what I do going, and we're going to have big stuff coming up in the next couple days and this weekend on Patreon, so look for that as well. And shout out to ZZack for becoming a $5 a month patron. And that's about it. I think I got it all out in one breath. Anything you wanted to add, Jake?
No, that's pretty much everything. Just a little last thing to catch up on. Jason Sensation got his Twitter back.
Oh.
He said he was detained by police and forced to stay in the hospital.
How does he get his Twitter back? But I don't get my Twitter back. Right? All I said was MTV hates white people. He said he was going to bring a gun and shoot himself in the head.
Yep, he sent this out at 2:01 p.m. today. He said,
I
was detained by police, Toronto police, forced to stay in the hospital after sending out that awful, thoughtless tweet last night. I wasn't thinking straight. I am sincerely sorry and apologize to everyone and anyone this affected, especially loved ones, WWE, and Toronto police.
How
and there's
does
a
this
picture
guy
of
get
him
his Twitter
flipping
back?
off the camera in the hospital. So
listen, I like Jason Sensation and I like whatever, but how does he get his Twitter back and I don't have a Twitter account? I'm banned for life. MTV hates white people. The joke. I'm banned for life. I'm going to bring a gun and shoot myself in the head. Oh, it's a joke. I got my Twitter back. What the fuck? Dude, fuck you, Twitter. Fuck Twitter. Everybody tweet at Twitter tonight. Fuck you, Twitter. I want everybody to screenshot what he said, and then I want you to go and tag my old Twitter accounts. I want a massive fucking tweet tonight. At Twitter support, at Twitter, at all the Twitters. Don't tweet me with my new Twitter account because I keep that secret. But tweet them at Joe Cronin Show. My old Twitters are at Joe Cronin Show, at Real Cronin. At Joe Cronin Show, at Real Cronin. Tag those, send his tweet, and demand, why the fuck is this guy on Twitter? Why is everybody else on Twitter and I'm banned for saying that? Which is a joke. His is a joke, but it's not really a joke. I am going to bring my gun and shoot myself in the head tonight at Raw. Enjoy the show. What the fuck?
Yep. It was suspended,
this country.
You know, temporarily, not indefinitely like yours.
But I was suspended as well, but then you keep emailing them and repealing, and then they tell you, nope, sorry. So you can threaten to kill yourself and bring a gun into an arena with people and shoot the gun off in the arena. Clearly there's no joke there. It was just said. But if you tweet MTV and say, oh, MTV hates white people, like, you'll be banned for life? For life? Dude, suck my dick. Where's that fucking cunt Jack from Twitter? Because I want to rape his face with my dick. What a piece of shit company you are, Twitter. You fucking cunt bird fuckheads. If I ever get my fucking hands on your fucking neck, Jack, you fucking hypocritical cocksucker. Oh, we put him on timeout. Why am I banned for life? You fuck. Anyway, that's how I'm ending the show tonight. Pissed off. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Shout out to Big Bacon Brad Hollister for stopping by with us. He was a great time, a good interview. I enjoyed it. He's going to be wrestling all over. Check him out. Hit him up. My name is Joe Cronin. Jake DeMarco at Countdown Ended on Twitter. At Corrupted Pod on Twitter. You can find... And really, the only place you can really get a hold of me is patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And my website, joecroninshow.net. Instagram.com/Joe Cronin Show. And my Facebook page, facebook.com/Rage Internet Radio. On Facebook, like the Facebook page. And I'm the fuck out of here. Good night, everybody.
Listening to the Joe Cronin Show. Support this motherfucking show on Patreon, because Twitter, Facebook, and the evil global agenda cocksuckers are gonna ban us everywhere else. So join us on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, where we can say whatever the fuck we want.